Welcome joining us today again for the two of the Olympiad Team Kenya National Championships. We are just excited that you're joining us today. I'm joined by my co-host Titus Kirega. And yesterday Kenya had a good start to the online Olympiad. We managed to beat Bahrain and Tanzania 4-2, identical scoreline, but drew with Brunei, which is a strong team, of course, 3-3. And today we are tipped up against Nepal on board 5, which is going to be a tricky game. But we're excited that our Chargers are putting up a good fight. And all they need is our moral support. And we are here to bring this broadcast to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome and join us today. Titus,
yes,
how are you?
I'm very fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How do you fancy the games going on so far?
So far, I'm excited that at least the team I'm supporting is doing very well. Kenya, that is. And
yes.
Definitely we are pulling this for Africa. So we are really hoping that Africa does really well this time round. Definitely online challenges will be there, but let's see how this turns out. So right now as we speak, Kenya is playing Nepal.
Yes.
Definitely doesn't look like an easy team.
No, it's not an easy team, but our boys and girls, neither are they easy.
Clearly they are not.
They have been practicing under the tutelage of the Malaysian FIDE trainer, Peter Long. Great. And the mood in the camp is very exciting. They are promising to put up a good show. And we are just happy for them that the morale is very high. And
sure.
We've got a mix of players who are talented and gifted, some with experienced players, and I think the other ones are getting a lot of exposure and guidance from them.
Definitely.
So we hope and clearly believe that our Chargers are going to do the country proud. Right now, the game going on is for Joseph Methu.
Yes.
They've all started, but you want to look at Methu's game where he started. Can you go through the game very fast? I think he started.
They started with E4.
It's like in defense, actually, the exchange variation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at this point, Methu is playing black.
Yeah, Methu is playing black
against Bibek Thing from Nepal. He's actually a CM.
All right, really.
So they played.
I can see it started E4. Knight F6, of course, and then advance the pawn to E5, made to play the traditional Knight D5, and then.
And they still seem to
C4.
be in the opening stage. Nothing major has happened yet. The game is very drawish. Definitely a lot of support from the Kenyan players and of course from Africa.
Yes.
So this is Division 4 for those who are joining us of the Olympiad online chess tournament. And at the moment, if you look at the board, we have Methu. We have several players from Kenya at the moment playing against Nepal in Division 4, Pool A. We can check out someone else who's playing. Maybe we can try Mehul. Mehul, he's calling himself BMG Foreigner online.
Oh, those are the names they use in online?
Yes.
Maybe you can take us through the game. I can see Mehul is playing white, right?
Definitely. Mehul
started with D4, Knight F6 came on the board. The Tromposki, he likes this Tromposki attack. He says that he believes he can beat anybody.
He actually played this line yesterday and he had such a very good success with it. Let's hope that's the same thing for him today.
And there's a game where he had a conventional move just happening. I mean, he couldn't believe it, and he blamed it all on technology. He didn't have a mouse then.
Yeah.
He was using the computer pad, but today we hope he's going to have a good outing. So far, so
Most
good.
definitely.
He seems to be having a slight advantage.
Actually, he does look better.
But as you said, it's still early games. Anything can
very
happen.
early in the opening, not much really, but he seems to be having a very good center control.
Yeah, his pawns have advanced very well on D4 and E5. But then again, there's nothing as beautiful as playing a position that you're comfortable in.
Exactly.
I mean, as much as your opponent might be understanding his theory, it really doesn't matter what he does. It depends on how you react to what he does.
Correct.
So sometimes it can be misleading to think that because you are not very well prepared in opening, yes, you can be, but you really need to find the resources when the time comes, because there's nothing as difficult as winning a one game. You might be having a one position, but you don't know how to proceed from there.
True.
Then it's better you know how to proceed from your bad position, because you're finding the resources that get you off of the pitch. So we know our players will do well. Mehul, only a few moves played so far. And the move number 8, they're taking their time. This is a rapid time control, each player having 15 minutes, 10 seconds increment for every move. Therefore, time management becomes very crucial.
Exactly.
Again, you don't want to overthink in some positions because you'll need that time much later on in the end game or middle game when things become trickier. So far, Kenya is lying third in their group, and we just pray that they proceed because they need to go to the next phase, which will take the top 3 teams from each pool. So 15 will qualify for the next division. The format is interesting. It has been a bit confusing.
It is actually very confusing for most guys. For those who don't know yet, the format is a bit tricky. Maybe it needs some explanation. And maybe I can take you guys through the format at the moment. And the format is a bit different from what we've been seeing in other scenarios, because in this case, each team has 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
And out of these 6 players, there has to be a junior player, both a junior lady player and a junior boy player. 2 ladies must be present in the pairings, and also 2 gentlemen, or rather, as you wish, as a team to represent the country. So with this kind of dynamics, you expect to see so much unexpected results.
Absolutely.
Because a team that may have been doing very well in the Olympiads in the men's category may not have been doing so well in the ladies category.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're mixing the players, the results become very unpredictable.
It's true.
And that's why you're seeing maybe a team like Kenya is doing very well, because we have very strong juniors.
Mm-hmm.
Our ladies are very good, comparable to other countries, and they really boost the men in our team. So I think at this point we have a lot of hope for Team Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how this works out. So if I can see the kind of pairing we're having on the board at the moment, Mehul is playing an FM,
Mm-hmm.
FM Rupesh Jaiswal.
Yes.
And of course the title itself is good reason to know that the game is not that easy. I can see that Mehul has really stuck on this position.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the problem?
It's giving it a think. You know, you have to find the right moves, and at the right time, you have to. Maybe he's thinking based on what he has learned playing from this line. Maybe he's thinking, is this maybe early on in the game? Could it be a critical moment for me? But he has played knight to f3.
Yeah, knight to f3. Maybe I think queen c1 was better at that point, but it's okay. Maybe he was wondering whether to take the bishop or maybe just ignore. But let's see.
It's a line he understands very well, more than most of us would dare to maybe give him qualified opinion.
Definitely.
You know, there are people who have got the expertise in specific lines, so it's good to respect the opinion, as much as you may also know some variations. And here the opponent is also thinking, maybe he's weighing the possibility of... I've seen some people playing, I don't know, these lines in a way that intimidates the opponent. But Mehul, I think, is cut out for this. He likes this line. He's very excited about it.
Yeah.
And I hope his prospects turn out well. The rankings, maybe you could talk about the ratings rather on this. These are chess.com ratings, not the official FIDE ratings put on up for us to see.
Definitely. One thing that should be clear is that whatever rating you're seeing these players having on this board, for example, like Mehul having a rating of 1736, it looks like a blinker. Mehul is definitely not rated 1700. These ratings are basically just online ratings, but they also have the FIDE ratings. For those who don't know, FIDE is the International Chess Federation.
Yes.
So every chess player who plays mostly rated events, meaning events recognized by FIDE, they usually get a rating. And this rating will become like a good, it's a good indicator whether a player is a good player or not if they have a higher rating compared to those players who are lower rated. So in this case, for example, Mehul has 1736 online, but I think on FIDE he should be 2006 or something. So definitely I can believe maybe even this FM should be having a very high rating.
Yeah. I want to talk a bit about the format you're saying about each team needing a junior, a lady player.
Definitely.
And that I think was hit some federations hard because they've not been able to have that mix coming up.
Yes.
So you find that some maybe are just playing without the standard 6 players. So in all their games, they'll be automatically starting 2 points down probably, because they are giving walkovers on those boards.
Exactly.
And also some federations have been challenged in terms of technicalities. They don't have maybe the resources to put the team in a central place. And if they are not in a central place, they don't have good internet connectivity, they don't have webcams, they might not be having laptops.
Exactly.
This is a new dynamic, the new normal we are talking about. So some federations have been hard hit, and we only want to also thank the National Federation Chess Kenya under the presidency and leadership of Bernard Wanjala.
Most definitely.
For putting up this show. They have really tried their best to ensure that the players are well catered for, that they have been prepared well, and they are psychologically set for the battle. So kudos to the National Federation for the good work, because the challenges are not easy to surmount, especially in these new times we are living in, where cash is an issue. I mean,
exactly.
So they must have done a lot of good work. Anything changed in Mehu's game? Maybe we could look at Methu's game.
Yeah, we can actually try.
What has happened so
how
far?
Methu is performing.
Oh, they're still Methu is still holding on. He's okay. The opponent also is trying to weigh him up. They have to size each other. There's nothing as much as when you're playing someone who's the underdog. In this case, Kenya.
Exactly.
We are the underdogs in this match.
Actually, in this
so
match
the pressure is more on the opponent. We have belief and confidence that our players will rise to the occasion. I mean, especially if they don't know you much, when they see you trotting out a good move, an opponent may be scared and say, why don't I know about this person I don't know? And that might force them into some errors. And we have got players who can pounce on such opportunities granted to them. So let's see how it pans out. Methu is still okay here. White seems to be, okay, maybe slight advantage, but I don't think is decisive at this point.
It's very slight. You cannot really make a decision out of it. Maybe we can check out other players. Let's see our ladies player. There's WCM Joyce Nyaroi playing also.
She's the one using the Happy Ushindi something.
Yeah, she's calling herself Happy Ushindi. And at this point,
maybe you could throw the game on the screen there.
Yeah, I think the game is now on. So she looks quite okay. Still very drawish though. She has some very good kingside attack. I like the minor pieces for white. Center control is awesome. And she seems to be the higher rated player in this board. We should be doing very well here in terms of hopes. But I mean, what do you think is the best move here for white?
It's white to play.
Yeah.
Given this scenario, I mean, I fancy the bishop on f4 for white should not be chased away. So if it's my position here, maybe I'll play g4. Because I don't see any risk in this position for if I throw the pawn forward so that I stop the knight from coming to h5. Nice. I need my bishop where it is, just in case your knight becomes pesky, the knight on c6 and tries to kick off my knight on e5. I can pick with the bishop and have a direct attack on the g7 square.
I really like that move because it has some very bad threats. Imagine g4 followed by g5, and now you can see after g5 there's this nice bishop coordinating with the queen, having some very good attack on that king. It's actually a plan I like. And then in case
but let's look at this. What if she plays g4?
Maybe we can say g4 and
then let's look at the knight jumping to e4.
Knight jumping to e4.
Yeah, what do you do?
But what do you think?
I think, as you said, g5 just so goes.
Meaning after g4, ideas of g5 don't really work for black, do they?
After g5,
white becomes better.
No, I don't think that's
because you can even sack the knight, right? Because most players would actually after g4, g5 looks like what most players would play, but I think it's a blunder. I
wouldn't fancy that much. So what would you be giving white good chances? I would think if he plays knight there he comes with this knight.
You had suggested knight e4 earlier.
Yeah, knight e4
actually looks okay.
No, but what is it? Where is it going to? It's just trying to put the knight somewhere. I proceed with g5. Just open up.
Proceed with g5. Yeah, just break this center. Just break the cancelling position.
I just could proceed with g5 and then.
And maybe he has to capture the pawn.
Whatever. Joyce is okay. I'm happy here with Joyce. I don't think she.
I think
that's if she.
White is okay.
I don't know if she played that move, but I'm just saying.
Taking is a blunder. Taking this move. Taking this, you take with knight. You take with bishop, and definitely he cannot take here because if you take, there's a mate on h7.
All right. So let's see how it goes. I think the moves have been made.
All right. Let's see. So, she actually saw G4.
She went G4.
Impressive.
She went G4.
Impressive.
And the opponent played actually knight E4, right?
Yeah.
And then Joyce proceeded with
But the opponent is yet to play, I guess. Or has she played yet?
G5, and then F6 was thrown on the board. Joyce captured the bishop on D7. Have they made those moves? Yeah, I think that's the position.
Not yet. This is. Oh, she actually has played. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
She played knight E4, and now
she's thinking whether to what to pick that.
I think she should just go G5.
But remember, he's black to play, right?
Yeah.
Knight times D7. I don't know if she's thinking of picking on G5 first,
G5
because the knight is not going anywhere.
Wow. This is the.
Have we gone beyond that? I'm thinking G5 has been played already, and they have gone up to knight times E7. Knight times D7, rather.
Let me see. On my end, I happen not to have.
It hasn't been played, yeah?
Not yet.
Okay, so maybe I was looking at my analysis when I pushed it. All right. How is McLegayo is playing on our sixth board?
Oh yeah, our junior.
Yeah,
is playing
McLegayo. Let's look. I had him being christened by Dr. Victor Ngani yesterday, Robert Fisher McLegayo, and I just like I played him once, and I think the gods were with me. I was losing that game. Honestly, I was, and I was looking around me and wondering what's happening here.
Yeah,
and the boy just looked very. We talked about 1.5 years ago. So he was 13 and a half, because the other son is 15. So he was looking at the board calmly, not even I was trying to look at his eyes to see if the eyes were going to betray him, but he had his hood on. So I was a bit intimidated and terrified at the same time with his dressing, and the position of the board was not good for me. And I was saying, well, what's happening here?
I know.
But as luck could have it, I don't want to blame him for inexperience. No, it wasn't. He just made a false move, and there I had my lifeline. But it was totally lost in the hands of someone else, maybe like you or any other person, or even him. He could have seen that was a miscalculation. Like yesterday, in this other game, he miscalculated. It's a promising.
And that's why I'd like to tell our viewers that chess is a very dynamic game. It doesn't choose age.
Yes.
And that's why it's very common to see a junior beat a very experienced player.
Yes.
Just like Carlsen did when he started playing chess. There are so many juniors who are really good, and you cannot even compare their strength with even senior players.
Can we throw that McLegayo game on the board?
So the game is already on the board at the moment, and McLegayo is doing very well at the moment.
He's playing
black.
He's not doing very well.
He's not doing very well. It's actually white doing very, very well.
I think white is okay.
White is very okay.
White is okay. White is.
They actually played the normal variation of the King's Indian, because I can see some knight F3 on move 2.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can just recap quickly on the game.
All right. Maybe take us through it, yeah?
So they started with D4, knight F6, knight F3, that's
C5 was thrown and then advance.
An early push on D5. I think at this point is where he started losing it, giving the position.
Okay, so at bishop, okay.
Oh, wow! This queen move was such a blunder.
No, that was the queen to B6, yeah.
Yeah. The queen move was the blunder.
Queen B6 was not a good move.
Yeah.
I think he's mixing lines. You know, sometimes you can mix lines of another opening. That was not good. I think that one just.
I think that's where the position became.
Queen B6 after bishop G5. For me, I don't know. Queen D7 would have just worked out well. The plans of bringing the bishop to B7.
Move,
I think after bishop, move number 9, after bishop G5.
Yeah,
that's when he threw in Queen B6.
Yeah. Actually, he could even have played bishop E7. Yeah, like you're saying, right?
I mean, I just think Queen D7 was good, and then developed the bishop on.
Oh, bishop E7 is what was played. So after bishop G5, what would you suggest to me? Maybe Queen C7.
After bishop G5.
Yeah, on move number
9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen C7. No, Queen C7 is not good. You allow the knight to jump to B5 and then hitting the queen again. You know, you have to make the best of the worst position.
So F6 becomes the move then. You just have to keep
F6
this
is an option, but yeah, F6 is good, and then F6 is okay, but I would have gone to Queen D7.
Queen
I mean,
D7.
that bishop anyway is not going anywhere. The
Yeah,
question
yeah,
that is
yeah,
on
yeah.
C8, I
Exactly.
don't want to bring it to G4 because we'll be kicked out by H3 easily. So I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to develop it. Maybe come on the queen side,
Mhm.
just play a simple G6, B6, and then bishop can come to B7. I can even put the bishop on A6, so then the knight captures, and then I can bring the knight back to C2. That's how I look at the position.
True,
but
true,
then
true.
after playing the queen, I think
from here it's downhill for black. Things are not so well. It's not yet lost, but now, yeah. So McLeod went for the B pawn.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve for a boy, McLeod.
Yeah.
How is Tromposky attack doing?
Yeah, we need to check the Tromposky attack by Mehul.
Bim foreigner, Bim Dow. I mean, he's a very great player.
Yeah,
very theoretical in nature. I mean, to me, he's one of the most vast theoreticians we have in Kenya. But sometimes I've had occasion telling me, if I only knew a quarter of the theory that he has, I don't think Titus will be able to challenge me.
I agree.
Because Mehul, I remember in 2017 during the African Individual Schools Chess Championship held in Mombasa,
Yeah.
where Vichy Anand had come in as the guest of honor.
Yes.
And the event had been organized by Lighthouse Chess Club.
Yes.
There's a position, Aruna of Uganda, FM Aruna and Subuga.
Mm-hmm.
He rigged a position by he had a pawn and Ananda had a king, and Ananda had two knights, and Aruna had two knights and a king for Anand,
Yes.
against Aruna's king and a pawn. So I mean, we thought it was a draw. So the Aruna offered Anand a draw.
Yes.
But Anand instantly rejected. And all of us kibitzers who were watching that game, we went to the sidelines and said, how can he reject that?
A draw from
it's obviously
player.
a draw. Yeah. Because, king, 32 knights and a king is a draw.
Yes.
And then Anand just said no. And then I said, this 5-time world champion must be knowing something that we don't know. So I quickly called Mehul. I sent him a message actually. Yeah. And I said, this is the position, but Anand has declined the draw. And they just told me instantly, this is not draw. There's something called the Trotsky line. Wow. It was my first time to hear about the Trotsky line.
I've just heard about it. Maybe we can.
I went to Wikipedia, I went to Google to check it out.
Yes.
And I realized Anand was going to allow that pawn to promote, but mate was coming on the board the next move. That pawn is allowed to move to go and queen. But then the knights work in a way that without the pawn, it would be different. And then I said, man, this Mehul guy is a walking encyclopedia in terms of theory. But again, there's a big difference knowing something and not applying it. He might know the theory, but when it comes to application, because he meets players and they take him to the forest where he loses his theory and he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, but anyway, let's look at that game. How far is it? What is the evaluation of the game right now?
So far, the game still looks drawish, but
Mehul looks slightly better.
One thing I like about Mehul's position at the moment is the fact that okay, fine, he's a pawn up at the moment, but I think Black could be having some very nasty rooks on the second rank very soon, and maybe that's why the game is still not yet so obvious for White. The other problem about Black's position is that he has 3 pawn islands compared to White.
Maybe you should point to our viewers who don't understand pawn islands.
Yeah.
What are pawn
pawn islands is when pawns are not connected. So for example, if you look at these 2 pawns for White, the A pawn and the B pawn, they are connected because they're together on the same on their concurrent files, and also these 3 pawns for White that have castle are also connected.
Yeah.
Black at least has 2 connected pawns here, but unfortunately the pawn on E and 7, they're not connected because there's a boundary between them at the D file, and those 2 pawns become islands. Okay.
Maybe what you mean by boundary to our viewers is that a boundary is a file. When pawns are separated from each other by a file,
exactly,
which could be they become pawn islands. And in terms of pawn structure, you have an inferior pawn structure position, and that can be used as a weakness in the endgame, or maybe later on in the middle game. But here again, I'm seeing Kirega, as you evaluated correctly about it's not very clear, but I would also enjoy to say that the pawn for White's pawn on Black pawn on C7 is a weakness.
It is
in case perchance Meul manages to gobble it, then suddenly he has two connected passports on the air and be fine.
And that's
So
the biggest threat, I think.
That I think he could be trying to liquidate his pieces so that the game take it to an endgame where the king will come in, and then he'll be having a superior endgame.
Sure.
So, but the question is his opponent going to sit back and see him trying to trade off pieces? Because the rule of thumb is that if you are down in terms of material, maybe a pawn in this case is not good to exchange pieces, but rather exchange pawns.
Yeah.
But and he's going for the exchange of the rooks, and the queen jumps to c5.
I think exchanging wasn't such a good idea.
Queen c5. Mehul quickly played queen e2.
Yeah, Mehul is intending to do just simple chess. I think at this point he just needs to cling to that extra pawn he has, and he should be fine.
Yeah, when you talk about simple chess, I'm reminded of FIDE Master Harold Warnyama of Uganda.
Yes.
Of AG 2018, was it 2018 or 2018? Bronze medalist.
He's a
He's a very strong guy. There's a time I was playing for the 2014 Olympiad qualifier,
yes,
and I was in a position whereby I had to win to make it to the last phase.
Yeah.
And then I was playing my last game against a very young, upcoming player. These young players, they've got the energy, man.
True.
So I called Wanyama, and I asked him, I'm going to play my last game. What do I do? He told me, simple chess wins.
True.
So I'm picking up from what you just said.
Exactly.
He told me it doesn't matter. Just play simple chess. Don't get excited. I know you like getting excited.
Don't complicate the
Don't complicate the. So but I'm telling you, we were the only ones left 45 minutes after all the games had ended.
With simple chess.
Simple chess. But the simple chess was leading me to a draw. And the draw was going to make my opponent go to the final phase. I think out of fatigue and maybe he got bored and he blundered, and I managed to win that game. So simple chess, I agree with you, wins. And here Mehul, maybe as you said, is just trying to play
so
simple
Mehul has
chess.
played h3 just to get away of the back rank weaknesses he has.
The h2 square, which we tell students when you are training them, is a luft.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to create a loop for your king. And
so I was thinking maybe queen d2, queen d2 seems like it.
Queen d2.
Maybe queen d2, then try exchange the queens.
What about trying to expand on the queen side with he has played rook d2 while he thought the queen. I would have thought expanding with b4.
Yeah, even me. I think before.
I thought expanding
before looks
before
like
was good,
an obvious move also.
B4 and then
B4 and just start.
It's still, as you say, it's easier when you are watching the game from outside to find
when we are here
than when you are playing. Yeah. Because there's no risk to you. You're not losing anything. You're just saying what you think.
We are not committing to them.
But when you're right on the hot seat, doesn't you realize?
Very true.
I have to be very careful.
Very true.
It's not over until the fat lady sings. So you start to don't throw away caution to the wind. All right, I'm keen in knowing how Joyce. Any other player we have not looked at in these games that they're playing?
Definitely.
There's Madelta, Glenda Madelta. Madelta. It's just the other day I learned that she was being. Not the other day. I mean, some few years back, 2 years ago. That's when I came to encounter the first time. She was being taught chess by Moses Adiwo. Yes. And then I met her for the first time, and he told me this lady is going to be the future. Yeah. Now she's in the national team. She's playing on board number 3. Maybe you could have a look, throw the game on the board and look how she's doing.
It seems like she's already finished her game.
Oh, really?
I don't know
what has the result been like?
Maybe we can just get that info shortly. In the meantime, as we do that, we can be checking Mongeli.
Or Sasha.
Yeah, we can check out.
Yeah, another strong player who has played in the Olympiad, and she got a WFM title.
Exactly, very successful. She should be one of the most successful lady chess players we have in Kenya.
And it's down to hard work and discipline.
And she's very humble, very committed.
Oh yeah, looking at her, if you meet her, for those who have not met her, if you meet her face to face, she looks harmless. You might not even know.
That's true.
If I met her, I could challenge her to 10 games and promise her 10-0 until you realize you made a big
She's only humble on the outside.
You made a pawn push, A pawn push is committed for better for worse. You cannot retract it. She's that kind of lady. Personality, the way she brings herself up. She's just looking innocent like a dove, man.
And I think it should be an encouragement to the ladies in Kenya. I mean, the fact that there are very few lady chess players.
Yes.
And it's surprisingly true that most ladies who join chess, they easily become successful in the game. I don't know if you've seen that kind of trend.
I've noticed that trend.
And it should be an encouragement. As much as ladies have a lot of commitments in life, they end up being very intermittent with the game. They join and sometimes we lose them. But I think those who've shown consistency are really successful in chess. And you can see with ladies like Joyce Nyarai,
Yes.
WFM Wongeli. I mean, the list is uncountable. Look at Lucy Wanjiro, you know.
Wait, looking at this game,
Sasha seems to...
what move are there? I don't want to believe the move number 8. Or what is happening here?
I don't know. It
Because
seems
my
like
board is showing move number 8 and the white has won.
Mongeli
Black has resigned.
Yeah.
Is it true? Time was forfeit, but I'm just seeing only 8 moves. Is there something I'm missing here?
I think there's something we're missing here. This doesn't look like the official game. It seems like she was playing some friendlies with somebody.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can go back.
Maybe she's just only playing some friendly game and we picked that screen.
Exactly. That was the best to have.
Actually, can I tell you the truth? She was playing a friendly match because she's not in the lineup for the team playing.
Yeah, she's not in the lineup.
Sasha, with all due respect, we have given out of credit and thank you for beating that opponent on that. Well, maybe we should take a short break at this time and then come back with more info as we keep on supporting our charges. Remember, we'll be doing this for you as long as Team Kenya is in the championship, and we pray that after tomorrow's game, right now they're placed number 3 in their pool of 10 teams. Remember, the top 3 qualify to the next division, and we just want to pray that Kenya will be able to make it so that we can have more support for our own talent. Keep it here. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, our viewers. We are excited that you're joining us today for the commentary of round 2 Kenyan team games. Before the break, we are looking at Joyce Nyarwai's game. And Titus, do you have any results on that so far? And any other results? I can see Mehul drew.
So far, not such a good day for Kenya in round 1 of day 2. Because I can see Medu lost to Biveklama. And apparently we have some good news. I think Nyarwai has just won her game.
Good.
Against, Sindira Joshi.
Sindira Joshi, Sindira Joshi is an experienced player. She's the highest rated Nepalese ready.
Yeah.
So for Joyce to pull that result must be telling us something about our own level of play in Kenya.
True.
And she was in the Baku Olympiad in 2016. And she's I said she's the second highest listed, not the highest. She's actually the second listed Nepalese lady. And
really?
Yeah, of course she is, and she was the former national ladies champion. So just like Nyarwai,
Yeah, such
so
a good match. So the two
of mate, and Joyce proved who is the lioness in this game.
Yeah, only some.
Congrats, Joyce.
Only some prophetic words you have made about the Tromposki attack, because you can see Mehul drew.
Yeah.
It seems he could deliver with the theory that you're saying. So as you can see on the board. Mehul just drew with the FM, Rupesh.
Yeah, FM Rupesh.
But unfortunately, our junior, Kligio, was not doing well on the board. So just like we predicted, the score went against us.
That Rupesh is one of the top players in the Nepalese. Actually, the second highest rated Nepalese, and he got his FM title in 2007.
Yeah.
While playing in some championship Division 2. And he has represented his country in various competitions. So for Mehul, he's got experience. So maybe whatever Mehul was throwing at him, he was able to just neutralize it, given the vast exposure he's had, and he knows what to do at a particular time. So hats off to Mehul for also getting that draw. We don't begrudge him that. It's pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe just to give you guys just a small preview of what's happening on other teams, or rather on other pool. Like Pool A, we can see Myanmar. They beat the Maldives 4-0 so far.
Wow.
Seems like they've already taken it for this round. Hong Kong also doing very well against Brunei. So we can see like the who is who in our pool are doing very, very well. Tanzania, unfortunately, the gods are not on their sides today. Vita imepiganwa huko. Chinese Taipei are like washing them out 5-0 so far. Maybe one more game still.
Chinese Taipei, they beat who 5-0?
They beat Tanzania.
5-0, Chinese Taipei.
They beat Tanzania.
If my memory is, I think it's the same team in the 2012 40th Olympiad in Istanbul, Turkey.
Okay, yes.
Kenya made them.
Yes,
and I remember, was it on board 4, Gidinji was playing one of these well-built guy in the team.
Yeah.
And we needed a draw from Gidinji's board to
right.
draw the match or something, if I remember well.
Okay.
And then this guy was basically, Gidinji was lost. Man, sometimes on the board when you are lost, it's not a good thing. But he was fighting on. looking at his face,
okay.
He was out of determination, and you could have thought he's just looking for the
looking
final
at his
blow.
board. His
His face. It looked as if he's looking for the killer punch. And this guy was just seated behind, puff in his mouth.
Yeah, when you have a winning position.
Yeah, and then he was going to queen, so he took a queen from the board and was flipping in his hand. When Gidinji made a move, the guy just promoted, and then Gidinji just sacrificed his rook.
I know that.
It's either this guy picks the rook or his mate. And if he picks the rook, you know what is happening if he picks the rook?
Yes.
It's stalemate. It's not a laughing matter, it's a sad story, because it took a lot of persuasion from the Chinese Taipei captain to convince his players, let's go, because he started there stupefied, and for almost 15 minutes, the guy was just looking.
It's really embarrassing.
And Gidinji was,
yeah, he must have been very content with that.
I think it's the same team. I don't know, but Chinese Taipei. Yeah.
It should be the same team. It should be the same team.
Interesting. So they beat Tanzania 6-0.
So officially Kenya has 4-2. I guess we got another draw.
Oh, great. Not bad.
That's a good try.
I
really think it's a really good try.
I would be interested to see as soon as the pool rankings are computed when the games are over, what position we are lying in, because also the next game will mean a lot to us. We have to really make it happen for us. So We are playing the Maldives. You told me the Maldives beat which guys here? 5 something? Or they beat
The Maldives have just lost 5-0
Oh,
to
they've lost?
Myanmar. Yeah, they're losing to Myanmar 5-0.
And they are the teams we are playing with, I think. The
It
next
should be the
round.
next
They must
team.
be demotivated, and you never know, they might come up back like
Yeah,
wounded
they
lions.
Yeah,
you know?
it might be.
So it's not something we are assuming that they will have an easy
Sure.
ride, but we hope it gives us that extra boost that we need going into the game psychologically. And if we get a result there, and then the last game as we play Thailand on board 5,
Yes.
we hope that we'll be able to pull off some. Anyway, at the end of the day, we'll be happy with our team's performance, but I'm persuaded that the team is going to make it to the next
So in round
stage.
2, rather in the next round, we are playing the Maldives. Should be in a few minutes because the games are starting at noon.
Oh, okay, we're almost there.
Maybe as viewers you can see on your screen, Kenya is playing Maldives. Then Thailand shall be battling with Nepal. Chinese Taipei finally meeting one of the teams we found one of the strongest, Bahrain. Also not such a weak team though. Hong Kong playing Tanzania, and Myanmar playing Brunei.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe when you come back before the next round, probably you would like to invite one of our top junior players also who has graduated through the ranks. I think now can say a top lady. She's called Sanjana, WFM Sanjana Deshpande.
We actually had her yesterday and she really did very well yesterday.
That was Krishi Shah.
Oh yeah, that was Krishi Shah.
I'm talking about WFM Sanjana Deshpande. She took time off just to concentrate on her career in the airline industry.
Joining us.
We need to invite her for a meeting and then just get to hear her thoughts about some of the games. Being a lady who has been there, done that, and accomplished a few things, and also one time made it as a national champion ladies category, but because of the constitution, the title belongs to national. She was not awarded. But then we need to hear from her some expert opinion. And probably we might be joined again in the course of our transmission by international master Andrew Kayonde from Zambia. We had a chat and is giving us some feedback, and maybe again PDM, Prince Daniel Mulenga.
I don't know, is he playing in the Olympiad?
No, he's not playing them. Neither is Kayonde playing. So PDM has been known strutting the social media platforms as this hope of a nation. And he understands chess. I like his exuberance.
I really respect the level of his play.
Yes.
He's a really good player. And there's a lot to learn from him. I mean, he's one of the most rising player I think I know.
Yes.
He actually got an FM title, if you're not aware.
Oh yeah, I know it came sometime around 3 weeks, 1 month ago. Something.
Yeah, like a month ago.
That's when
so
FIDE ratified
PDM for being an FM. At least Africa, or rather generally East Africa, we are really doing well, improving our...
But he's a very strong FM. He's a 23 something, I think.
I think he should be an IM.
I've played him some few games, and the things that...
and how you felt.
I don't want to say the things he shows you, the things you don't see on the board.
I know what you're saying.
More
so
like
anyway, just to digress a bit, guys, if you're watching and you like the stream, kindly subscribe to our channel. I mean, this is the only way you can show support to Terian Chess Africa. Take a moment, click on that red button, subscribe, so that next time we are doing these events, you get an alert immediately. Also, if you're out there and you want to learn chess, take this opportunity to do a lot online. This is the best time to learn this game. If you're with a friend or with someone at home and they don't know how to play and you're a chess player, take the opportunity and teach them how to play chess. And try and explain to them the many benefits of playing chess. I think we can take a few minutes and just tell guys the benefits of playing chess, because
it's true.
Most chess players, as they'll come to tell you, they never become the same before and after playing chess. So we should talk about and create a narrative about the importance of playing chess and the impact it has on kids, and the fact that it's a game that you play at any time of your life. It doesn't have so much cost. It's the cheapest game, I think.
Absolutely. You just need a chessboard and a table and a chair. Even just, there's an old joke told by my very good friend, candidate master John Mukabi.
Yes.
Veteran Kenyan chess player who has represented the country in more Olympiads. I think 8 of them, but he has been to 10. I'm not very sure about the thing, but he has been there, done that.
Yes.
He tells me there's a joke that goes, if chess players were in a boat or a ship and it was sinking, they look for 3 life jackets. One for the opponent, one for themselves, and one to place the boat on. And then Mukabi, when he tells you the story, you know, the way it's very dramatic, he really gets excited. So kids, we encourage you to pick up the game of chess. There are kids you have seen picking up the game, and there's a couple of kids I'm training all the way in Uganda.
Yeah.
There's one called Abigail, there's one called Lillian, and the brother Anton, and the sister too. They're very good. I mean, they're exciting on the board. They get this feel. They did not chase at all from the onset.
Okay.
Yes, but just because of being introduced to the game and they get the hang of it, they get the interest. Kids, I mean, they're very good and very fertile to give good ideas, new ideas, because they're receptive. Unlike us, if you try to me something, I might brush you over and say, man, I've been doing this thing for a long time. That's already shown you. But anyway, viewers, we will be signing off again as we prepare for the next game. And we just want to say that we are excited that you're with us here, and we're looking forward to seeing you again. Tell us before, maybe, because you've got a few minutes, 7 minutes to the next round.
Yeah, just a few 7 minutes to the next round. Nothing much to add, really. I think you said like everything. You guys can just give us a few minutes, take a moment to take quarter two as we also take a small break. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes so that we can see how round two of today works out.
Which will be the 5th round for the...
Yeah, it should be the 5th round of the total games. And we're really hoping Kenya qualifies. Things are very hard at the moment, but let's hope that things work out.
Wherever you are, pray for the team.
Definitely.
Pray for the team. They need your prayers.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens.
All right.
We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to this live broadcast from Nairobi, Kenya. Kenya now is playing against the Maldives, and we are excited for the boys there and the girls. The last game we just played against Nepal, we lost 4-2, but that's not the end of the road unless we fail to take the turn. So that's just a bend, and we are excited that right now we're looking forward to a good game. Titus, which game can you want to throw for us to look at in the meantime?
I'm just seeing Mehul at the moment is playing, BMG Foreigner, and this time around he decided to play the Queen's Gambit declined, rather the opponent declined his Gambit, and they're playing the position online. So just maybe to analyze the position at the moment, looks very theoretical, drawish. I just don't like black.
Want to take us through the moves that they started? Maybe we see how it went.
Maybe we can just do a quick recap since they started the game. They played very fast. So d4, d5, then the Gambit c4. Black declined by not capturing and play the classical line a6. f6, knight f6. Some exchange in the center. And now this is the exchange variation.
Okay.
Developmental moves, nothing major really. Everyone trying to castle early. And then there's this interesting move, knight to h5, and then they exchange the bishops quite early. A lot of exchanges. This game seems to be heading to the end game quite fast because the guys are already in the middle game. And at the moment they're on move number 12. And
Mehul has chosen to go opposite side.
And that is just a clear warning shot that, you know what, if I want you to go short, I want us to attack.
Correct. And maybe the warning shot is the fact that when you castle opposite side, the pawn storms. Exactly. Otherwise, you start putting your pawns towards the enemy king. So Mehul maybe has fancied that his chances are good if he goes long castling.
And I love the fact that he had a good eye and noticed that this knight where black has on the knight on b6, it becomes a hindrance for black when it comes to pawn storming.
Yes,
so because now black has to take it back
and then push
then start
b5
compared to the scenario where white can easily start pawn storming here.
And he has made the b1 move. Obviously, that move is made because you have to get the king closer to the pawn on a2. When the knight from c3 moves away, you need protection.
Maybe he's anticipating the bishop on e6 will definitely have some future attack.
The opponent chooses to follow him.
The opponent is afraid. he actually realized that, you know, my knight on b6 is not as beautiful. So we might see a game that is a bit equalish.
Wow!
If there's a word like that.
Drawish.
So let's see
this
how.
This is going to be interesting. So far, it's okay.
Maybe we can check out one of our other players. Can we see Nyarwai? Happy Ushindi.
All right, Nyarwai.
Nyarwai doing playing for the ladies team, for the ladies position for Kenya.
Happy Ushindi is a Monica
and she's playing black. The game seems to be a bit slow. They're playing the semi-Slav defense down the main line. Knight e4 is the last move that black played. Maybe we can see how...
I don't know why I'm not able to get on my screen, but I'll look at the big screen there and just follow it from there.
All right. So at the moment, Knight has played to e4. Maybe with ideas of f5, maybe black is intending to play f5 at some point. Also, it's good to note the pawn on c4 is under distress, but it cannot be captured at the moment because if it's captured, then the knight falls. So what do you think is the best move for white at this point? What do you think white can do?
Okay, the bishop on d2 is being hit, yeah? But that bishop to me is not very okay. The pawns are blocking it on the dark square, so it's not a very effective bishop for white right now. I wouldn't mind it being taken.
Okay,
I can just go ahead and castle.
Or you can actually just castle.
You can just castle as white,
and you go short definitely. So
castle, just castle. King safety and bring the rook towards the center. Just
go for simple chess like you told me.
He decides to capture first on d5 with the ideas of maybe pushing c4.
Maybe to undermine completely the center.
Absolutely, to undermine the center completely.
I agree.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like a
it's
good
still early parts of the game. But Joyce just responds in kind by picking the e pawn.
Yeah.
It's so that she can give a bishop on c8 some leeway to have control of that long diagonal c8 to h3 diagonal. So that's perfectly in order. The other knight on d7 can be routed to come to f6 to support the other knight in case.
I think it's not a good idea for white to take the knight.
Aha, c4 has come as we were saying.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
It seems like a plan. It seems like a plan. Just trying to undermine the knight.
What do you do?
Maybe at this point the knight can take the bishop. Knight times d2.
Knight times d2, and then queen times d2.
Because if you don't take the bishop, and white takes d5, then you will lose an extra pawn, or rather have an isolated pawn on the d file.
Which is known as an isolani.
Yeah.
I've had people confuse any isolated pawn being called isolani, but the truth is that only the d pawn is known as an isolani if it's isolated.
Yeah. So I think at this point, just take the bishop to avoid isolation of the d pawn.
But also, Titus, it depends on the player's mood. Some players, if you understand how do you play with
exactly
an isolated pawn, or how do you play against another pawn, you can decide whichever way. But the problem with that is that it can be under intense pressure, and you don't want to go through that.
Plus, you don't need to give your opponent unnecessary advantage.
Joyce just chose to develop with the knight on d to f6.
Yeah,
I mean,
she wants to support the knight so that in case the pawn is taken, she can always take with the queen. Yeah. So maybe we can check out maybe another game. Methu, I don't know if Methu is playing. Seems like Methu is not playing in this round.
Methu is not playing this. I didn't check the lineup actually. Should have checked that.
Maybe we can check up the lineup. In the meantime, let's see how Naisimba is playing.
Right. This is.
So Naya Gosrani playing black for Kenya, and they seem to have also progressed a lot. And it's interesting. Maybe we can just check out the game. From the beginning.
From the beginning, let's take us to the beginning. So Naya is playing black.
They're playing black, and
this is a fast game. I think yesterday she didn't play.
She didn't play. This is her first game, and
also very experienced young player who has done duty for the country in many continental events.
Yes.
Remember, she had a very good performance at the AYCC in 2018.
Yeah,
and we expect a lot from her, and let's just see how it goes. So take us through the game.
And they seem to have played the Scotch Gambit.
This is a Scotch game actually. E4, E5, Knight F3, and
the opponent
Bishop C4, Bishop C5.
Yeah, and I think this is a critical moment in the game where Bishop captured on F7.
Take us through the games. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that was on the board. Yeah.
So this sack. Of course, with the ideas of check with the queen on d5 and capture the bishop back. And I think that's what happened. And I don't know. D6. I don't think d6 was necessary.
So the downside for black is that black will not be able to castle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big problem for.
So the king at the center is not a very good move. She has.
I'm trying to analyze that move she played on move. After the check.
King times f7.
How is d6?
And then king d5 check. King f5 check.
Maybe d6 was the move, or maybe queen e7.
Wait, where are you? You're talking about after king d5 check?
I'm talking about move number 8.
Number 7. So a reaction to queen d5 check, yeah?
Yeah. No, actually, at this point, she played d6.
Or d6.
Yeah, d6.
That's move number 8.
Yeah, move number 8.
d6.
D6.
I would have preferred, honestly, let me look at the position. Taking the pawn back. I would have, honestly, I would have preferred the queen to e7.
Yeah, I think so too.
To hit on the king. If it goes away, then I can play.
And the whole idea of queen e7 is try and exchange the queens, and also in case you lose the pawn on c3, you get back your pawn with queen times e4. That is just in case white refuses to exchange the queens. Yeah, but anyway, that's not really what
so
happened.
what's the current position now? Black is still yet to play. White is yet to play.
Yeah. So at this point, I think the fact that now Naya is not castling, because after the sack on f7, she's definitely not castling. It's gonna be a big deal for her trying to remove the king from the center. But I think she can always relocate the king with moves like
but
king f7. But I don't know if the opponent will allow that.
The problem is that's the thing. The problem, the opponent be watching you as you make your moves.
But I think she's already done that. She's played the king f7. Definitely at this point, queen check on b2 actually does work.
What if king b3 check?
Queen b3 check, and of course you cannot block with bishop because you'll now lose. If you block with bishop, you lose the pawn on.
Bishop e6 can be played, and then after, we have written at queen b7, yeah. And then here you can play knight e5.
I think at this point, white should just play queen b3 check.
No, I think after even bishop.
Let's just see queen b3 check. Then what do you do? What do you suggest?
I suggest bishop blocks.
Bishop blocks, and then you lose the pawn on.
There's a friend of mine who likes say, "What is a pawn between friends?" Friends. So after that, I will play.
Because the knight is on pre.
Knight e5.
Knight e5. Right.
Just go knight e5.
Okay. Which is slightly okay, but you can always get your pawn back at some point.
The pawn on b2 is also weak. So, but I mean,
I think white is just okay here.
But sometimes it becomes tricky when you're looking at these games, trying to imagine what is going on in the player's mind. With all the emotions, the pressure on the board, and you try to ask yourself many things, which is the best line to follow. As you notice, chess keeps on changing. Plans keep on evolving on the board. You might have your plan, but you cannot just proceed with your plan if your opponent has put a span on the wheels.
Exactly.
You really have to sit back and reevaluate the position and get to know, how do I proceed? But sometimes if the opponent move doesn't seem to affect your plans, you just simply ignore and go ahead with your plans. So long as you're comfortable with the position, that's the main thing.
Definitely.
And it's interesting. It's interesting to see what happens. So which other game do you want us to look at?
So at the moment I can see Master Dubs, aka candidate Master Aguda Luanga.
Oh, it's the first time he's playing.
He's also giving a debut.
Wow. Candidate Master Aguda Luanga. This boy is this is one of
called
the Master Dubs.
Yeah, he's called Master Dubs. As you can see on the board, he's playing white. Guys just decided to do the French defense Tarash variation. Some of those nice lines to watch. Maybe I can just give a small review.
Yeah, just give a recap. I'm not very good at the French. I remember my good friend Martin Oyamba. There was a time he was the French expert in Kenya in the 90s before he started playing chess.
I really respect Oyamo. He's one of the oldest chess players we have and one of the best guys to watch play. He has a lot of off-board and on-the-board tactics. It's such an honor to have such players in Kenya. So they played the French defense, and Luanga played e5. Such a very nice position for white. At this point, I like white's position. Knight e2.
Oh, this is the advanced variation.
It looks like the Tarash.
Tarash variation.
C5 and black castled. And the game looks like doesn't look like it's juniors playing. Very mature kind of play.
Forget about juniors. Have you ever played Aguda Luanga, my friend?
Yeah, I've played him on the board. Maybe I've been lucky.
I'm talking about competitive, not these coffee house games you just meet and challenge each other to play. Over the board tournament.
Actually, not yet.
Yes, I've played him. So
but I've watched him play and he's really good.
Yes, I'm lucky you didn't watch him trying to beat me. The weight I was feeling. And of course I lost that game. And he beat me and it was blitz. Rapid. National championship rapid last year, last year, November, 2019, national champion, November, Strathmore University.
Now, these are the guys we are really praying that they become GMs. You know, this
Yes.
is the group, and the father has done a very good job coming up with very good players.
Yes.
You know, and big ups to Aguda. I mean, and the father Caroli. I mean, this is a very good chance to show that juniors are.
They show that. But the worst part about that defeat was that I played the park defense, E4, D6. Okay, some people call it the piak, others call it the pirk.
Yes.
Yeah, so I played the piak defense.
The piak.
So E4 I played D6, and then of course I call it knight F6. So normal variation.
Yes.
And then you guys, I heard you discussing Dr. Ngani yesterday about the H4, H5 maneuver.
Oh yeah.
I saw it.
Tell me it works.
All I can say, it was painful. And then after the game, as you're looking at analysis, the young boy looked at me and told me, this is one of the lines I've really studied. So actually, I went into the lion's den. I was beaten. But you see, okay, chance and time happened to us all. Later on in the games, I was paired against the father, and of course, I had my ultimate revenge because I couldn't allow the same family to inflict pain on me. And I told the father, "You are paying for the sins of your son." But it's very good, as you said, very good players coming out, our juniors, and you want to see them grow through the ranks and maybe break that barrier that they don't usually come to the top teams.
I really agree with you.
Yeah, and for them having this chance, because now that's why you can say this format is helping us for them to play alongside people who have they are great, let's call them predecessors, and then they'll pick a lot of things from this interaction. So they are good family. There's also Odongo.
Longa.
Yeah,
Yes.
very strong player. I remember also there's a tournament in Mombasa, the African Individual Schools Championship, where it was the East African Challenge, I think.
Yes.
He won the under 21 category. He actually played in the 21 category, and he was the champion. And so there are players, and his ambition is to be a grandmaster. So I think with the support that family has been given them, let's see how it goes. And many other juniors out there.
The support has been there, and that's why I really say Carol is doing a very good job raising two champions.
Yes.
You know, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah, because it means that he has to come out of his way and sacrifice so much of his time and just to support them.
Yeah. So what's happening in the game you're looking at?
I actually have just managed to get another player from Kenya playing at the moment, and that is Glenda Madelta, also doing a debut today. And Madelta is playing white.
What's her name?
She's playing. She's calling herself
because this
Orieko.
Mm.
And for you, as you can see on the screen, white is doing really well.
I like that knight on G6.
Yeah,
it's sitting very pretty. And the bishop on is anchoring that knight.
This is
white is controlling the open D file. I mean, here things. Wait a minute, who's to play here?
It's actually white to play, and as you can see, the rook has been lifted.
There's some tactics that can happen here.
The rook has been lifted to H7.
If the knight can move to us, well, let's give it, let's say knight to E5.
The knight plays to E5.
The knight to E5, the knight on G6, no? The idea being that you want to, as Mukadi would say, you want to slap the rook with a check and pick the queen for free because your bishop and your rook and queen line up on
I think if you play knight to E5, say I was playing black, maybe I would play queen D4. Queen D4 looks like the move for me.
Queen D4?
Queen D4.
Just played queen D4?
With the ideas of, I'm not happy with... I think I also want to come with my...
Queen D4, knight B5?
Knight B5.
Oh no, you're attacking my bishop twice.
There's
but queen D4, I just picked the rook with a check.
Yeah,
bishop times X7.
You slapped my
bishop
rook.
times X7 check. You have to react.
Then I think I'm forced to capture. What do you do after this? Though you're way better, I'm not happy. I'm not feeling good as black.
I don't think that's a good move. I can
even play G3.
I can play queen D3, inviting you to capture.
Queen
D3.
Queen D3. Check.
With the idea that if you capture, I captured by knight protecting my bishop. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, this is
Knight times d3. Of course, you have to capture, and you're good.
And then if you pick my bishop on f4, the knight jumps in, hitting your bishop on.
I think there was a more.
There's more concrete variation you're saying.
Yeah, I think you had like a better move. So after I play queen d4, why not just play knight e2?
Or protecting the guy, hitting the queen.
Yeah.
Knight e2, and the threat of jumping over is still valid.
Yeah,
that's a better one.
Knight e2.
In fact, that's a better move because I'm hitting the queen and I'm hitting the bishop,
Yeah,
rook. So your variation of queen d3, d4 is not a good
It is not such a nice move, but it looks like that's what black has at the moment. I don't know. I feel like
sometimes
the
when
pieces are too many.
when you're trained kids at the academy, Italian Chess Academy, you know what they tell you?
Yeah.
They just make moves. Sometimes they tell you, I played there because it was my turn to play, which is very good. And we tell them it's better to have a bad plan, and then we work on that plan to make it a good plan. So sometimes you need to give your opponent the best move, because if you are playing and giving the bad move,
So after a long thought of 4 minutes, Madelta has played queen e2.
You know the idea.
Definitely allowing the rook to have ultimate control of that fight.
And also hitting the bishop.
Yeah. And sneaking.
E6.
Exactly.
But then there's the knight.
She also has a very good attack on the
There is the knight that now will maybe might force the knight on h5 to pick the bishop, and then your knight picks attacking the rook.
Exactly.
And wherever the rook goes, suddenly the bishop springs to x7 with a discovered attack on the queen. Okay, very good. Thing. And that one is a very good move.
The attack by the bishop is just...
that is a very good move. I think I love that move.
Considering that he's capturing the bishop with a check on e6.
At this point, I'd love to be Madelta anytime, so that you're watching me and talking about, you see what Brian has played.
Yes.
I love that move. That's a very good move.
Very good move.
Well done, Madelta. I think this one we should have it in the bag.
True.
All right,
this looks like it's winning for us, Kenya. Africa are very happy in this point.
Are there some thoughts coming in from the guys watching, and what are they saying about the games?
A lot of overwhelming support live. We want to thank everyone who's watching us live on YouTube. Leave a comment. Thanks a lot to Denny Wambogu saying that we're doing a good commentary. We really appreciate. Nairobi Chess Academy and Club.
Oh, Steve Ouma, International FIDE arbiter Steve Ouma is the CEO. Oh, he's watching. Great.
He's very online. Thank you very much.
Denny Wambogu was there also yesterday, I think.
Denny Wambogu.
Thank you very much, Wambogu.
Denny Wambogu for that. Even give us some insights of the move. Queen f4 check. I can't remember the game he was talking about. Terry Kidula.
Oh.
Wow.
The local GM's wife. She's watching, huh?
Watching live.
Yeah, she better, otherwise.
Otherwise, there'll be problems, you know. Then we have Eugene Mothomi.
Oh yeah, very great chess promoter of the University of Nairobi. Exactly. I mean, he's doing tremendous work. From also doing good work in the Mount Kenya region about promoting chess. Eugene, we appreciate you and applaud you and just pray that wherever we can support you, let us know.
Most definitely. Then we have Dante Bukes saying that he really likes what we are doing. We really appreciate. Christine Moturi, thanks a lot for being there. Kwereba Moses.
Oh yeah, the veterinary officer, Kwereba Moses, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, he's got a lot of theory.
He's a veterinary and a veteran.
And a veteran chess. A very good coach also. He's brought many kids up. They've got a club called Kabete Club Books or something.
He's done a lot for chess in Kiambu region.
I appreciate it. Kwereba, we appreciate you. Thanks for the support.
Washira Washania.
Oh yeah.
Another candidate master from Kenya also watching live. Thank you
very much. One of the top rated players. He's watching all the way from the USA. Wow. He relocated, if you didn't know.
Awesome, I didn't
know. He's been in the US for some time, and Washira, thank you for watching. We have had many battles with him. The last time I think we played was in the SpiceNet Open in Tanzania.
And I think we know the results.
I don't want to say, but the results.
All right,
he suffered, but he made a mistake, of course.
Thanks a lot, Washira Washania. Then we have Christine. I think I'd mentioned him earlier. Thanks a lot. Moses Wakisi.
We appreciate. Wakisi. Thank you very much.
Don Robert. Kidula's variation seems to be fall after c4.
Okay.
I don't know, that's what he's saying. And then there's also another junior been training for some time, a very good friend of mine, Leon Kiprorit. Thanks a lot.
I like what Makisi said. Makisi also saying my variation seems to fall after. You know, sometimes you have this sense of you have looked through the move and suddenly you spot a move and you think this is it.
True.
You fail to go to the next one. It's always important as chess players to take your time to look at through all the variations. A lot of excitement you might find only after move. You see only after move 4, but fail to see move 5 what the refutation might be. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm sure you are wishing you are playing against me and then you show me that variation on the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we can go back to our.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the games.
Mehul. Mehul is one of the players we've not seen his game for some time now. So Mehul is playing white in this case, playing FM Mohamed Shau.
Oh, it doesn't seem to be in a good position. It doesn't seem to be.
Apparently it looks.
It
looks. You remember the game they castled on the same side, and we.
That's the same game because this is a game that's comes on the same side.
It is the same game.
So there are no pawn storms have happened apparently.
Yeah.
So I think both of them were.
But it seems the C file is under fire.
That was what they were fighting for.
Everything is there, you know.
And now with black to play,
the bishop on F5 is looking promising.
Yeah, it is promising. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, if it's kicked out with the move like, let's say, G4, the bishop just relocates to E. It says pretty on E4. Yeah. And then look at Ismail to play. You know what's happening on the to the F4 pawn.
Yeah, because the last move that black has played is queen 2 before.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, what should Mehul do here? Because capturing the pawn is a blunder, I guess. It doesn't look like a good idea.
Capturing the pawn opens the C file, but
the A file, and you see the fact that this bishop is stopping the king from coming to B1.
Yeah.
There are threats of checkmate.
Well.
But I think I like rook A3.
What about rook B7? No, not rook B7. Sorry, what am I talking about? I must be. Is who to play? Rook A3 has been played.
Yeah, Rook A3 has been played. And I think I also thought that was the move for me.
But then I think black should play Rook B7.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bearing down like a battering ram on the B5.
So let me see. You're saying Rook E7.
Rook B7.
Oh, B7.
With threats now of BX F4.
Oh yeah.
With such threats. So Rook B7 might force Mehul to advance the A pawn to F5.
Wow, Rook B7 is such a strong
F5,
move.
and then after F5, Queen can find itself sitting pretty on D6.
And that at this point, black looks like he's winning. He looks better, definitely. Because with Rook B7,
yeah, Rook B7.
I don't know what you do unless you play F5.
No, you play F5.
You play F5.
You cannot afford to do anything.
You cannot capture that point.
All right.
So maybe
instead he played king. I think he wants to bring the other rook on B8.
It looks a bit passive because he's giving white time to recover.
That's not a good move. I don't think that move is good. The one the owners
Knight C3.
Yeah, after king E8, Knight C3, king E8. Maybe you would apply. I sort of started this assault on the king side.
I think
you should have started assault on the G4.
I think Queen B3 was okay. Exchange the queens.
Queen B3. Exchange the queens, but the queen is also one of his pieces that he needs to. Okay, maybe exchange.
Or maybe Rook C5, like you had mentioned.
What about G4?
Or even G4.
Yeah,
just kick away this bishop. This bishop
comes to E4, then you can have time to jump to
and then you can play Knight C3.
Yeah,
with some good tempo.
There's something in chess we normally train kids because maybe some of us never did it in our own time, so we have to transfer it to the next generation. We don't want to go through the same pitfalls we went through. There's something called move order. There's a difference between playing a bishop first and then playing the knight first. Playing the knight first bishop, because they all have different consequences. So sometimes move order can really mess you up. There's a game 4 years ago, I think Anish Giri, one of the top players, I think that time was world number 4, Anish Giri.
Yes.
He lost, I can't remember the player he lost to, but he took a long think of almost 50 minutes and then made a move, and then he lost the game several moves later.
Wow.
And he said it was painful to lose a game that has been proved to be a draw just because of move order. He took long thinking. You could see the old plans, but you couldn't remember. Is it this piece that plays first and then this, or is this the other way around? So after a long think, now it boils down to you making decision on the board.
And that leads me to exactly what you're saying. And that's why when you come to the endgame, for example, where you want to checkmate someone with a knight and a bishop.
Yes. And the king, don't forget the king.
Exactly. Of course, there's a king.
Yeah.
Your opponent has a king, but you have a knight and a bishop. What really matters is move order.
Yeah.
If you don't get the right move order, you won't checkmate, and it will end up as a draw.
And knowing you have to push the king, which if you have a light squared bishop, the king has to be pushed
to the light square corner.
To the light square corner. Oh, that checkmate is former world champion lady. What's her name? Yui Fan.
Yeah, Yui Fan.
She missed such checkmate in a real game situation.
It is
not painful. Because of time pressure. Okay, there was time pressure, but then it's not an easy one to
move
execute.
order.
There's a time I didn't know it myself. I must admit. So I was teaching a kid about it. Yeah.
Yes.
So we went through it. Of course, I was reading the notes as I was teaching the kid. Yeah.
Yes.
So the next day session we were meeting after 3 days. We met the kid. He told me, hey, before we do that, can we do the knight and king versus king checkmate?
Yes.
I told him, okay, fine, let's do it. So I arranged no, don't arrange the position. You know what he did?
Yes.
He cleaned the board, clean, and then took the black king, threw it in the air. I was wondering what this kid is doing. The king landed on a square. He put it up. The other pieces, just all of them randomly. Yes. And then he says, okay, I go first. Now he's one playing with the knight and the king.
Yes.
And the bishop.
Yes.
Do you know he mated me? What he was telling me that he has been studying that game ever since that night. He had to be forced to go to bed. And then he has been perfecting it so that he can get you from wherever you are. This kid was 11 years old.
Awesome.
A Chinese boy.
And that's something I'd like to challenge. I'd like to challenge maybe upcoming players. People have just learned chess the other day, and maybe you're trying to get into the intermediate barrier or the advanced barrier.
Yeah.
Try and checkmate someone with a bishop and a knight. Assuming your opponent only has a king, yeah? And see how that works out. It should be a won position, but as history shows, not everybody sees those lines. Are
you some of the few who see the lines? Are you?
Yeah, I think I happen to be among the few who see the lines.
Kudos.
So it's something that I'd encourage guys to learn.
Absolutely. So okay, let's Mehul's game. What happened thereafter?
So Mehul's game, they've successfully managed to exchange the minor pieces. And
Queen D3
as much
on
as
the board.
Black is still winning. Okay, looking
still pressing.
Yeah, it's pressing. It looks very good because you have an extra pawn.
The bishop that was menacing, the light square bishop for Black, has been taken off the board.
Exactly, the annoying bishop is no longer on the board.
That bishop there's some pressure. Suddenly the rook on B3 doesn't sit pretty.
I think it's high time that Black relocated these rooks. Get a rook to E8. One of the rooks to
you see,
D5.
if I was the one here now, is now opened. Correct, he has made the move. I was just about to say play C5.
Oh yeah, or
play C5. And Mehul quickly picked rook. Quickly picked. He did waste time.
There is nothing to think about.
Rook times C3
and you need to note that Mehul is not doing very well on time.
Mehul has to play rook on B to C3 because the rook is doing nothing there. Try to route it.
Or just capture that thing.
No. You want to fight? Oh, come on. That's not good.
You should have captured.
No, not even capture. You know, capturing, you still give the opponent control of the file. You have to fight for the open file.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so
maybe just bring that rook
B to 3 because also you have a queen supporting that. Rook picks. If the rook picks again, your queen captures on C3. Now you have in the control of the C file. Now you can start jumping on queen C8 with some checks and just trying to be a nuisance. You know?
Exactly.
You can find redemption coming through perpetual checks.
I don't seem to be worried about.
No, this is crazy. I don't like leaving that file. You are trying to sneak on the it's trying to capture the pawn on D5. It's trying to capture the pawn.
You see the problem with rook
to D1. Here to me,
rook to D1 is
B4 would suffocate now the B4.
In fact, even Black can play even B4.
No, not even. I think B4 is good. B4 suffocates that rook on B3 because you want to now you don't have the chance to come to the C5 with that rook.
Sure.
Okay, but anyway, that's easier for Kibitzers to see as one fan pointed out.
And White has exchanged everything, and Black has exchanged everything, and it seems like he's having a very good endgame.
And you see, Black has a pawn majority of the queen
side,
on the king side rather.
Exactly.
So he can bring the king for the pawn and navigate, and then the isolated pawn is blocking the pawn on the white's e pawn. So it's this one barring any disaster. I think this one is not.
So we seem to have gotten some results actually.
What is happening?
Master Dubs, he's delivered. Junior has delivered finally.
Sorry viewers, we don't have to look Pakistan, but In the heat of the moment, Master Dubes are delivered.
Yeah, delivered, and you can see a checkmate on the board. Queen
Wow.
G7 mate, very well played by him. We are really impressed by his play.
It reminds me of this player again in Uganda who says, "Never miss a check. It might be matey."
Exactly.
So mate on the board.
Exactly.
Very
mate
good.
on the
Congratulations, a good Alonga.
board. Congratulations.
Also, that one gives him some confidence, being the first game he's playing.
Exactly.
I mean, in this Olympiad, and also it's made an Olympiad.
Much.
So
Actually, very true.
Going to the next game, he'll have this belief. Of course, they all have belief in themselves, but there's something that
There's something
happens
these
in you.
games. Yeah.
Do you know there's an Olympiad qualifier I played that I lost 8 games in a row? Final phase.
How does it feel?
Right now it feels good because it was.
You learned a
I think
lot.
people have forgotten.
Oh yeah.
But the problem, internet never forgets. So if they go there, they'll find I
and this
lost
upside, they find the scores.
8 in a row out of 9 rounds.
Yeah. And for those who never watched the Olympiad, it's very energy taking.
Yes.
It's overwhelmingly tiresome.
Yeah.
You know. I
So-
can see also Madelta won.
Fantastic. That's already 2 scores now.
Madelta won by majority of pieces. We can see he was like washing everything from Black, and actually Black resigned.
Good.
And actually, he actually lost on time. The pressure was too much. He actually
the
lost on
opponent?
time. The opponent lost on time.
So,
So the game's ongoing. We also have a draw against Naisimba.
so far you're telling me it's 2.5.
2.5
to half.
to half, yeah.
All right.
And
Draw agreed.
Naya Gosrani got a draw.
That is good being a first game. What was the rating of the opponent? Was she
And I
rated?
think she got a good deal here. Look at the position. Black has everything.
Wait.
I don't understand how the draw
No,
came to be.
wait. But Black is Naya Gosrani.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how-
Oh, yeah. I don't know why she gave a draw here.
Did you offer a draw because of time? I'm seeing she only has 9 seconds or something.
Maybe she did
And
that.
then the
because of
opponent
time.
does 59 seconds.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you guys were talking about puzzle rush with Dr. Nani.
Oh yeah.
This is where it comes in handy now.
Exactly.
Because you try to look at the position and try to come up with fast moves. That's why playing blitz sometimes helps you when under time
Apologies
pressure.
to my viewers. Yesterday we promised to do a puzzle rush because I didn't know what it was. But off the show, I came to check it out with Dr. Angani, and it's just it's a segment in chess.com where they allow you to they give you like 3 minutes, and you're supposed to play to get as many checkmates from different puzzles as possible. And that's what they're calling the puzzle rush. It's not as easy as it sounds. We also have another Happy Ushindi guy. Happy Ushindi has also won.
Happy Ushindi is just Jared WCM, just
WCM, just Roy
Of
has
course,
also
you
won.
expect her to deliver. She won an online invitation or Wanyama invitation in Uganda barely a month ago, where the
she
Ugandans
did.
were there, and it had been predicted by the gorilla that she was going to sweep the guys at Uganda, but she won it convincingly. So congratulations, Joyce. Of course, this was expected from you.
Congratulations, because she seems to be the East African.
Hey,
champion.
Mehul resigned here. I can see Mehul has just.
Mehul seems to have won. I don't know.
I think Mehul resigned.
I think
He lost.
Mehul won.
Mehul won. I think this thing. Mehul was playing white.
Yeah, Mehul managed to promote a pawn. If you look at for the viewers on the screen, you can see.
What are we looking at then? What are we analyzing when you're saying Black is losing?
I think the opponent made some.
Come on, let's go back to that
We have to see
position
this
where
game. There has to be some very hit moments.
can you take us to the place where B4 was played actually, as I was
Maybe we
wishing?
can just go back.
Go back to
all
where
the
the
way
queens
to where
were.
we left. So at this point, they exchanged the queens, and
Okay.
definitely white.
Where?
Black
Which
is
move?
okay.
Which move are you
On
at?
move number 38. On move
Let-
number 38,
let
king
me-
A2. After king A2, black looks fine.
King. No, I wanted to go to the place where Rook was on A3, and then C5 came on the board, and then A5 was played, as you said, and then Bishop there, Knight times Bishop, C5,
Yeah.
Rook D1, Rook A3, Queen D1. Okay, so what happened?
So after these exchanges,
Okay, let's pick up from number 38 where you're talking
yeah,
about.
so
Okay.
from move
King
38.
B7 came,
So after exactly. So king
Rook D3, and then King C6 came to protect the pawn, King B3, And then f5, trying to expand on the king side. Rook d4, trying to make sure that that pawn doesn't try to misbehave by being pushed. Rook comes to exchange. Rook d2, of course, you don't want to exchange your rook at this position. It looks pretty good. King d6, trying to come to the side of the pawns. And then g3 was played. King e5, it looks as if black's king is more active. Remember in the endgame, it's all about king activity.
True.
Because most of the pieces have been taken off the board, and this might end up in this familiar endgame of rook and king.
I still
against.
don't get where he lost.
I'm waiting. We are going, and then king. Are you moving? King a3. And then I'm seeing g5 came. Black still seems okay.
Very okay.
b3, rook c4. Black still okay. Rook c2. Try to shuffle the pawn is lost. Come on, I want to see what happened here.
And look at now.
Rook c. Still, that's one of the mistakes I think. I don't think that move d4 was very important, right? Okay, let's see. d4. Rook captures. Now that pawn is going to run. d3. Rook. Oh my God, I'm just waiting.
These checks were not necessary.
b4. b4 was not good. b4 was not good. Okay, b4, okay. a6, now the pawn is running, and your king is in a place whereby wherever it goes, it's going to be checked by the rook, and then at this particular point,
exactly
where the king is, it should be somewhere on the, safely on the seventh, on your seventh rank. Why seventh, but your second rank, but towards the edge, so that there is no tactic of being skewered, you know?
True.
So let's see how it went after rook e2 check, king c1. White is inching back, check, king d1. I think your black is getting frustrated. He's seeing the game slip through his king e4, and white is getting an advantage because he's even bringing the king closer, or maybe he wants to hide into b3.
This is the time to play rook c7.
Check. Oh my
This is
God.
the time to play rook c7.
Now, that pawn cannot be stopped.
And now I think...
Now white is winning. Come on. I understand now what happened.
And that's how he played.
I understand now what happened. Queening with a check, and
I think he missed rook c7.
all right. I have to withdraw my words that said bad in an accident, but I'm not really withdrawing because actually an accident happened. So I was saying by an accident this is lost. But this is good news for Kenya.
Yes, Team Kenya.
Well done, Mehul Gohil, for being resolute and resilient in the midst of challenges.
Very important.
Overcoming seemingly insurmountable adversity on the board. But it all comes down to nerves. You still have that hope. You know, when you're losing, there's nothing more to lose.
Exactly.
And we said earlier in the game.
Yeah.
The person who is winning needs to be more careful. How do you convert a winning position? And I'd say that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you can handle the bad position well, then fortunes can turn. And this is very good. So what are the scores right now? This is very good.
At the moment, Kenya has 4.5.
Wow, so you're telling me this game is won. This match is won.
This match is won. We are luckily going through this point. Thailand also beat Nepal. Wow, which is really good out of them. Chinese Taipei also doing very well.
The team we are meeting next, Thailand.
Yeah, we are meeting the team next. Hong Kong playing Tanzania, and so far Hong Kong has 2 points. Myanmar seems like they've already taken that game against Brunei. And now maybe it's time we take a small break.
Any game going on as we leave it on the screen as you go for a break?
At the moment, games seems to be finished. Most of the games are over.
All right.
Anyway, so let's see how the next round will be. So in the next round, I guess we are playing. Maybe just need to confirm. Kenya is playing. Let's see. As I try to see which country Kenya is playing, and you're there and you've not subscribed to our channel, you're really putting us in a very bad position.
You're playing Thailand on board 5.
You're playing on Thailand.
I mentioned that
Thailand is not is not the underdog in the team. They seem to be it's a good team. So it's gonna be a very nice match to watch.
And I think also it will, if we win that, we'll be in good position. Because today's games are tougher than yesterday's.
Definitely.
And we better go into tomorrow knowing that the competition is becoming stiffer. If we make it the next round, I think it will be exciting news for us so that we can show them. In the recent cage matches that Prox Chessers has been organizing, I think most of the Kenyans have been proving their mettle by winning most of their matches against the opposition, especially our good neighbors in Uganda.
Yeah.
I understand they are not doing very well in this Olympiad as per yesterday. I don't know how they're faring on today.
So far, they've been having a very tight pool. They're playing in the same division, Division 4. However, they're in a different pool than us. They're playing in pool number, just a moment, as I confirm. They're playing in Pool B, and you can see that things are not as rosy.
Is that the ranking after some games, or that's just by alphabetical order? That's why they're at the bottom.
It seems to be. Yeah, at some point we thought it's alphabetical order, but if you look at the games they played, they lost to Cyprus, a very close call, 3.5 against 2.5. Then they played against Mozambique, and they lost 4-2. They also played against Syria, and they got a very hard beating from Syria. It was 5-1.
Wow.
So right now, or rather, as we speak, they're playing Kuwait, and Kuwait just might be. I hope they're doing very well on that game. We will give you guys some feedback after this break about that game. But it seems like Pool B is not as easy.
Yeah,
because Uganda is not a weak team.
Anyway, it's not a team. Even the way we are
team.
Pulled is depending on strength. No?
Yes.
So even in the over-the-board Olympiad, they always meeting GM-infested teams.
Definitely.
And they get to put some results. Sometimes they are beaten. So they start off that way, but they eventually end up among the top teams. Like in the 2012, do you know 2012 Olympiad in Istanbul, Turkey? Harold Wanyama was the player with the highest tournament performance rating in the whole Olympiad.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they have got some strong guys, and we wish them well. They're our neighbors. We wish Tanzania well. Any African team that is playing off, obviously, we do wish them well. We'll be right back after the break. Keep it here.
Thank you very much. We'll just give you guys, you can give us some few minutes as we wait for the next round. I think starting at 1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
So maybe 10 minutes from now, or rather 15, we shall be back. In the meantime, take a cup of coffee, subscribe if you have not done that, leave a comment, share the link, let as many people watch this commentary of the Olympiad. And we really appreciate that you're watching with us. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to our viewers. We are excited that Kenya managed to win that previous round, 5.5 to half a point. So I think now in the standings we should be approaching up the table, hopefully.
Well, yeah.
But now we are facing Thailand, so we cannot assume that it's done. It's not over. So we're looking at the game now between who is playing now? Which can be Joyce
I
Nyarwai
see just Nyarai playing black.
playing black against. I can't see that name clearly.
Onuma from Sirini Meet. That's a very complicated name for a Kenyan like me. She comes from Thailand. Definitely seems like a very decent player. She's playing white.
Yes.
And they played the Sicilian defense. Nyaroi has declined, or rather defended with the C5 move. But the game looks very young yet.
You know what stopped me from playing these Sicilian lines?
Yes.
When I was an upcoming young player, we're talking about 95, 96, 97 there. That's when I got the title local GM.
Yes.
I used to be aggressive and just sacrifice and play good games. So one day I played someone the Sicilian defense.
Yes.
E4, I threw away immediately C5.
Yes.
I was beaten and I realized this Sicilian is very wide.
It
I played
is.
the knight off. And then there were so many lines in the Sicilian and I said, no, I don't want to be doing this thing. So since then,
Yes.
believe it or not, I've never pushed E4 as white.
Especially they play the fianchetto variation.
Yes.
Where you can see when Nyaroi has fianchetto the bishop. By fianchetto in chess, we're talking about the scenario where you push the pawn on G to G6 or the B pawn to B6, and then the bishop usually comes and sits in front of the pawn. Same thing with what I think she wants to do with this other bishop. So that's the whole complicated name fianchetto. It's just a simple word of saying the bishop is behind, or rather is surrounded by some pawns.
So by that by another thing maybe the viewers need to know is controls the long diagonal, the longest diagonal. of the table.
Definitely. And actually this bishop in many lines of the Sicilian, it not only plays an attacking role, but it's also a defensive piece. So it's a very good piece for black at this point.
Great.
Yeah.
So now that you understand these line status, what is happening here?
Wow. Maybe let me talk about what's going on at the moment. I can see black has played his pawn to C3. Maybe the
White,
ideas,
that is C3.
sorry, white. Maybe the ideas of playing D4 later. But I don't know. What do you think black can play now?
Black.
Just proceed with the plan of, because I can see Nyaroi played B6. Maybe the ideas of exactly. I wanted to say bishop A6. Seemed like the move for me, because now it gives some very nice pressure.
But I think bishop A6 is, to me, okay, looking at it from a layman's point of view, without much theory,
Yeah.
I'm thinking bishop A6 is good when the rook is still on F1. I'm just thinking
Yeah.
to pin that pawn. But now you see, you're putting pressure on the pawn, the queen is guarding, I can just advance it. Because that was anyway why I played maybe C3. That's how I look at it from the opponent's point of view. As you said earlier, to support the push to D4.
I tend to disagree a bit. Look at it this way. Note, this is the only light squared bishop on the board.
Yes.
Right? And in case that plan where white is intending to play D4 doesn't really work right now, because this bishop is going to be a monster on this diagonal. Definitely, as much as it's not attacking this rook, it has this attack on the F1 square. And in case in some lines E6 is played and the queen comes to attack on these diagonals, the king will not have a running square.
Or the rook coming back to defend
Exactly,
F2.
and the rook is not coming back, the king is not running. So it's a very futuristic move in my opinion. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So,
Maybe we can try and see.
wait a minute. Black has just played knight to H6. Excuse me. Knight to H6.
Yeah, knight to H6 has been played by black.
I get what you're saying. What about C4 now for black? Okay, now I see the role of the bishop coming.
Yeah,
What
the
about
bishop
C4?
is annoying. Yeah, C4 can be played. Actually, C4 looks like the move for black now.
No. It's black to play.
Oh yeah.
It's black to play.
Yeah. And you know C4 is being played by black so that white does not play C4.
Whose turn is it? Is it black or white?
It's actually you're right. It's black's turn. It's actually
No,
white.
it's white because I
Yeah.
just said black has just played.
But still, if
No, it's black to play.
it's actually
I'm saying the
black.
clock is more
Yeah.
than black to play.
So C4 was actually.
Oh
either
yeah,
way it was- you were saying
I think
it rightly.
C4. Yeah, it was right. It was right to
It was
play.
still
So
right to
C4
play
was good.
C4.
Yeah.
So
Because I just said even knight had just played to H6.
I don't like this move by white, D4. Breaking the center, allowing this bishop to have all this control.
And also sometimes what happens is when someone has double pawns, maybe you can point the double pawns on the
Yeah,
board. If you
yeah.
have double pawns, the pawn behind the other, they are liability because the pawn behind cannot move unless the one moves. And then
Exactly.
other downside of it is that they don't support each other. But also, as we train kids, it's important to know that when you have double pawns, they're speaking to the pieces. How do they speak? They're telling the other piece, hey, look here, there's an open file or semi-open file because I've vacated that file.
Very
So
true.
it depends on the. Sometimes double pawns can be good because they open for the rook instantly,
Exactly.
or it gives you a point to bring your pieces to the open file.
You're very
So, but I
right.
don't, in this position, as you say, you don't like this d4 push.
I
It's
also don't
helping.
like it.
If I was black here, I would just capture because it helps me and double my pawns. Then I can have time to play c5, and then suddenly my bishop can go back to b7. I mean, having a strong diagonal. I'm
Correct.
just thinking.
Yeah, I think you should just capture that pawn. The pawn C times D. Just capture the
C
pawn.
times D and then C times D.
Yeah, and then after C times D, maybe you can play
What about f5 after that?
E
C
times
times C
F6.
and then black goes to f5.
So you're saying after, let me get the variation. So after C times D,
Mhm.
he's captured back.
And then black pushes f5.
Yeah, F5 exactly. And that move is not funny.
It reminds of the King's Indian defense when you have to time to get that f5 push.
That move.
I'm just thinking
I
because-
I like F5. I like your thinking.
So that even if he captures,
so that if you capture, knight takes.
knight takes.
Of course, I know there's a viewer out there who thinks, you know what, I won't capture first. I'll take the bishop, then the knight. I think there's someone who thinks maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think this.
But
really
then you
works.
love dark square weaknesses.
Yeah,
so when you
yeah,
committed
yeah,
the pawn
yeah.
on G2
Now you're
to
giving
G4,
black two paired bishops.
the bishop pair, which is more
Yeah. So
considered
it's-
more.
it's-
What about someone saying, what about if he captures in passing, otherwise known as en passant?
Oh yeah.
What about if he
I know
captures?
there's someone. who
Maybe you
thinks-
need to explain to the viewers who are new to this chess.
Yeah,
What
so-
is en passant?
Oh yeah. Maybe we can explain it first. So after the move on F5, all right. Maybe I can explain in passant. It's a long story, but let me just do it. So, when chess was discovered, for the viewers who are learning chess and anyone who is interested in growing in the game, pawns used to move one step. They never used to move two steps. But now the problem with the modern chess, after pawns started moving two steps, there was a problem. And the problem came in that before in old chess, whenever a pawn moved one step, and it was passing another pawn. So say for
Yes.
example in this scenario, in the old chess, this pawn would not have played two steps to F5.
Yes.
It would have just played
One step.
F6 exactly.
F6.
So after the modern chess, they realized that if someone plays a move like F5, it stops being threatened by having been captured by a pawn like the one on E5.
Yeah.
All right. So because of that, they came with this special move called en passant. And en passant works in a way that if an opponent plays a move like F5, initially it will have first played F6 and then F5.
Yeah.
White is allowed to capture this pawn as if it was on F6.
Correct.
So in this case, what will mean if black plays a move like F6, automatically the pawn on F5 has been captured.
Correct.
All right. So that is what we call en passant.
And maybe they need to know that it can only happen at the first
It's
instance.
very important.
You cannot make another move, then say, now,
And remember,
now,
that's what I-
let me. So basically,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it means is that your pawn must be on your fifth rank,
exactly,
which is the opponent's fourth rank, and the opponent plays the pawn on the fourth rank. Then that's the
It
no,
has to
no matter
pass.
which rank, no matter which file, it happens.
definitely.
Thank you. It was
Thank you very
important to.
So let's analyze when en passant doesn't work. So if you take with en passant, doesn't look really bad though. But the problem with that, in my opinion, you create so many pawn islands, and this pawn on d4 becomes isolated. It's quite. It looks like this pawn is under a lot of fire.
Yes, yes.
Right. Because I think black will just capture back.
Absolutely.
And
The pawn and
black looks okay. Has 3 pawns on both sides, only 2 islands, but white's position not as good looking though.
And
But
as you
the-
say,
the-
the bishops controlling both light and dark squares.
Yes.
And then f5 will inevitably still come into play.
Definitely.
All right. So,
So,
here,
maybe we
but
can just-
it doesn't mean to say that Joyce is badly off.
Yeah.
The position is drawish. I
It's
mean.
just looking okay.
It's just
Nothing-
looking okay right
nothing-
now.
Nothing major has happened.
Yeah, you really have to be able to take advantage of your position if you're going to convert. If you can't do that, then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
So she's okay. I mean, for the dynamics keep on changing in the game, so you might be seeing this, but maybe the player has seen much deeper what they want to do. Maybe it would take us to another game, but I find this okay.
It really looks fine with me. I'm okay being white or black at this
Okay.
point. I don't see really much happening, but I also don't like white's position at this point. Yeah, but I'm thinking it's just fine. I think at this point, take the knight, queen takes.
Or is white to? Okay, yeah, it's just capture the knight. I
Yeah,
mean.
he's just sacked a knight, but I'm just trying to see why. Yeah, because after the check, queen takes here the check, and I think this knight falls. The knight on f3. Because the idea is if you take, so I think white decided not to capture, and I think that's a blunder.
Oh, the knight was sacrificed in the pawn. I
I
mean,
think that's a big blunder by white.
no, I think now you have
Knight f3 is a blunder.
black is better.
What do you do after knight h6?
After
Knight h6.
knight x6, I will play.
Because now, if not capturing is giving this queen just humongous advantage. Huh? 'Cause
Here,
now
me, I can play. I can rook.
unless you play queen e3 now.
What about rook e3? Why should I play?
You play rook e3, then I guess it's time to put my knight on f5.
No, rook e3 is not good. Yes, I don't think it's good. Take it back.
No,
No, take it back.
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it back.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That is, as Mukabi would say, that was an emotional move.
No,
Because
true.
suddenly when you're playing, many things are playing on your mind. So you remember
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like rook lift. Rook lift is when you get the rook
after
up
rook
and
e-
put it
after
in
rook
front of-
e3.
No,
black
that is terrible. No,
black
it's
is
okay.
doing
Forget
very
about
well.
that emotional move.
And
we
you know the
should
problem with e3 also the pawn on d4 is not looking happy.
Now here, if I'm white, e6 is a good move. E6.
Wow. But how e6? You want to play e6 immediately?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, it looks like a move. Then I think I have to capture with pawn. We can just do it practically. Then I capture. Then I think what do you do? Knight g3 maybe.
No, there's no, and
Or
then
maybe
I play
knight f3.
knight g3. I play knight g3.
Knight d3 looks like it.
Knight g3. I play knight g3.
Yeah, so that you can have a good attack on that
Yeah,
pawn.
I'm training a fork.
Yeah, and of course threatening to fork these two guys.
Yeah, knight g3.
Maybe let's see what these guys have done.
Mhm.
So at this point, Nyaroi, let's just go forward. Okay, so Nyaroi did see knight h6, which is very good of her. I really respect Nyaroi's strength as a lady. She has shown a lot of consistency with
Yes.
good moves.
Yes.
And I think this is a good sign for this game. Other Kenyan games, I guess, have not started.
Oh, really?
But I don't know if they are going on. I just need to
Just check. They'll start at the same time. I think Beam is for Meul is playing.
maybe we just need to.
Master Dobbs Aguda is playing. Metu is playing. They're all playing. They start at the same time. So, unless of course you are saying the opponent did not show up.
Let's see what's up. Unless the opponent has decided to go.
A wall.
Yeah,
Absence without official leave.
Surprisingly, they are not playing. I can see only Nyaroi is playing at the moment.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
there a problem? But they're the same place.
Also, our neighbor FM Wanyama is playing at the moment.
Oh, maybe you could look at that. Is that E6 something on the board that came from Joyce, or is just?
Oh yeah, the lady saw that move. I like her vision either. I like her vision.
E6, by liking a vision, E6 was. I don't know if it was played.
So at the moment, Wanyama.
This is Wanyama's game, yeah.
This is Wanyama's game. For those who don't know Wanyama is the FIDE master from Uganda. I don't know if I'm right, but he should be top 3 best chess players in East Africa. What do you think?
There's a lot of debate around that, but it's one of the strongest. Should be among the best. The most intriguing part about Wanyama's seemingly invincible nature is that he says he has not studied chess in over 12 years.
Wow.
What is helping him right now is the foundation he built. And that's why we encourage when you're training kids, for every trainer, give them a solid foundation that they can rely on as they build up their chess expertise. So Wanyama says they studied a lot with people like Emojong, Atasegwanyi, both international masters. And they have been a great influence in encouraging young players. Like at the cage match you organized recently between Panchol Madol of South Sudan and that Ugandan young talent, 17-year-old boy.
Yes.
Wanyama spotted this boy and he said, this boy is going to be good. And look at what he did in that game. It was very close. I think it ended 12 difference was 2.
Yeah,
it was 24 games. I think it was a difference of 2.
The winner only, Panchol I think only won with 2 games.
Yeah, 2 games.
And it was a very
and towards with the five games to go, the boy was ahead. So maybe stamina, maybe experience.
Yes.
But I was watching that game and said, I don't want to be on the wrong side of that boy. So let's look at Wanyama's game. He's among the top in East Africa, definitely no doubt about that. Also in Africa.
Yeah.
He's known in Africa. He's been playing some matches with top players in Africa.
Surprisingly, if you look at that game, you'll notice that this gentleman from Kuwait, Othman, if you were to judge his style of play or rather his strength by his rating, you'd be very wrong because he's rated 1,188 on chess.com. Yet Wanyama is on 2,272. And if you look at the position, it's looking like a draw.
You know what happens?
Opposite colored bishops and
maybe this, chess.com, they give you an initial rating when you join.
Yes.
So maybe this guy just joined the other day. Maybe for this Olympiad.
I know.
So you're given, actually, I think you're given 1,000 rating. I'm not very sure.
I think so.
So they start you off there. So with false belief, you might come and think, tomorrow I'm having a walkover. I'm playing someone rated, and then you realize on the board, your bubble is being burst. So ratings don't lie, but this is, of course, online rating is not the real rating by the World Chess Federation. So it looks drawish. It looks very drawish.
It looks very drawish.
Titus, if he's drawing against Wanyama, or if Wanyama is drawing against him, then both of them must be. That's a statement.
It's a statement. That play is good. Yeah, true.
All right, Joyce Nyarwai's game, she has managed to bring the queen to h6.
Yeah, h6 has been played, and queen h6 has been played by white.
Let's say, okay, it's black to play, but if it was white to play, what would you do here? If it was white to play, I know it's black to play.
Yeah, of course. If you
puzzle rush.
Puzzle rush. Queen, knight g3, g5 looks.
No, knight g5.
Knight g5 looks it.
Knight g5 attacking the queen, yeah?
Threatening mate. Mate on h7.
Yeah, because you have to give up the queen.
And I think that's the plan that
you have to give up the queen.
So now at this point, where would you play if you were black? What do you think is Nyarwai's best kind of response to queen h6?
Now you see that pawn is now becoming a liability. The pawn on e7. The queen could have jumped there to stop this shenanigans that are trying to come on board. So it's black to play, right?
Yes.
Queen f5.
Exactly.
Queen f5 is good.
That's very good. Because the move is really good. It stops the knight from going to g7, g5, because now there's this nasty check.
There's nasty check coming up.
And
but after the check, surely knight g5. But knight g5, is it good actually? Queen g5, is it good? Queen f5, the one I've just said, does it look very good?
It's really good.
Or queen?
Because do you know after queen f5, white is forced to play queen a3. You have to go back. You cannot allow me to take this pawn on f2. Or rather...
Or because the queen will have rerouted, you can go back to f7 to defend any threats of me.
Definitely.
No, but how will you do?
Okay,
just take it back, take it back.
Remember the pawn on d4. The
is
pawn
hanging.
on d4, it's hanging.
Just take back the queen. I look at this again. All right. You think queen f5 is good?
I think it's good. Maybe another alternative apart from queen f5 would have been maybe queen f7.
Queen f7, if the knight comes in, you can play g7. But then I exchange, you pick the queen, there's a family fork. There's a royal fork coming with knight coming to e6 and the king is...
Because after here, the reason queen f7 would be an idea, in case you play here, I can always.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why the folk will come in, because I'll capture with check.
Oh yeah.
King
yeah,
picks
yeah,
and then
yeah,
the knight jumps.
It's really annoying. I see what you're
As
saying.
Mukabi again would say, the steed.
For those who don't understand the family fork, is if you capture if he takes king takes and then
Actually, family fork is supposed to be the king, rook, and queen, but now
Yeah.
queen has moved. So it's also known as the royal fork. So
yeah,
this is
it's
just a
still
fork,
yeah, it's still a fork.
and this will be, it will be bad. So I don't
Very,
think.
very bad.
Okay, it's moments like this. Sometimes there's a time we are watching some games and we are trying to analyze, and then I found them so complex. I told my friend, we're not doing live broadcast. I just told my friend, it's up to the players, but we'll come and find out what they have done. And that's why when we talk to them, I think it was a game between Ben Guku
Yes.
and it was the national championships last year. Ben Guku was playing. Was it Martin Joroge? No, it wasn't Martin Joroge. Apparently, both teammates at KCB. The game was so complex that any analysis was giving me a headache. And it was almost lunchtime. Then I asked myself, why am I doing this? I was analyzing offside with Steve Ouma. I said, why are we touching? I said, let's go look for lunch. When we come back, the players will have analyzed for us what they were thinking.
Exactly.
Very interesting. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to be doing this.
So apparently, I don't know what happened here, but Nyarwai seems to have sacked. Looks like she sacked. Maybe let's just go back a bit, because Nyarwai responded. I think she responded badly here. Instead of playing,
she didn't play Queen F5. What did she play?
Instead of playing Queen F5, she played instead Rook, allowing a very nasty fork by the knight. And I think this is giving White some compensation, because after that, now the Rook fell, and I think now White is looking fine.
Yeah, that was, I don't know why she chose that line.
It seems even White seems charged up now. She's even playing faster.
Yeah, I've been motivated.
Yeah. She seems to be even more motivated in the game. We need to find out why some of our players are not online. I don't know, maybe because I can only see Nyarwai playing. I don't know if you can capture any other game at the moment.
Well.
In the meantime, thanks to all those who are watching live from the YouTube channel. We really appreciate your viewership, your participation by commenting, leaving a like, subscribe to the channel. We're doing this for the love of chess, by the way. And we want to thank so many guys who made this possible. First of all, chess.com for having the platform, FIDE for giving us the opportunity, Chess Kenya, headed by Bernard Wanjala, Mukabi, Wandera, that whole group. Thanks a lot to all those who are working behind the scenes, the captain for Team Kenya, Ben Magana, the coach, Andiwo, the players. All this is happening because of so many people. And of course, you guys for giving us your audience, for listening to our show. And maybe we could just request for a minute so that we find out why the Kenyan team is not playing at the moment. I hope
maybe you can put them on break and then we...
Yeah, so maybe we can just take a small break so that we get to interact with the coaches and see what's up. We also have some very nice lineup of guys we're going to interview who are playing in the league or in the Olympiad. So keep it to our channel, and so that you can get to understand what's going on the ground. You can also understand the players' minds as they're playing this Olympiad. We really appreciate you guys being with us. And maybe Kidola, you want to say something?
No, really, let's find out, because if you can't see them coming through, let's find out what's happening. But we are thrilled, we are excited, we are happy for Team Kenya. Just seeing our own people, our flag bearers, fighting out there in the online chess Olympiad. By the way, this is the first online Olympiad.
True.
It's been called the Ololine.
Ololine.
For those of us in Kenya who come from Eastlands, you might think it's Ololo, but it's Ololine. So it's the first one, and to be able to participate in this is a privilege to Kenya. 163 teams are taking part, pulled into different pools. I mean, it's just exciting to be a part of. And I like also, as much as the format may look complicated with the qualifying teams coming, there's a possibility you might meet someone you met some other time.
Yes.
It just shows that chess has evolved as a game because we have been playing online for a long time.
True.
And measures have been put in place to curb any cheating.
Exactly.
Arbiters have been deployed. Players have been called to waiting rooms. Players can be texted while they are playing and they need to respond to the text. And if there's a disconnection for less than 2 minutes, you stand a chance of being red carded.
True.
If you disconnect for more than 2 minutes rather, then you get a yellow card, and that means your chances of being red carded are very high. But the beauty about it, after the group stages, when you go to the next phase, all this will be nullified, and then you begin on a clean sheet. So the format is interesting, and as you thank chess.com and FIDE for this, and the sponsors, of course.
Definitely.
They have done a great deal of work to be able to bring this Olympiad live. But the next one will still be held next year, 2021, and looking forward to having that happening. So let's take a short break. We'll be right back with you. Thank you. Sound. Welcome back. Sorry, it was a browser issue. It needed to be refreshed. Technical issue on the main browser server we are using to transmit this game. The games are going on. I understand Good has lost. And but Mehul is playing. Can you show us the game of Mehul?
So at the moment, apparently it was a browser that was telling us they are not playing. But the game seems to have really advanced. Look at White playing against Mehul is playing black for those who don't know Mehul. He's
playing against Tupfra.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's crazy. But he's Thailand's #1 player, by the way, if you are not aware.
All right.
He's represented the country in the Olympiads from 2012. That was the Istanbul one. He's the reigning national champion of Thailand.
Wow.
So it's not an easy game, and so national champion versus national champion.
Definitely.
So
this is something.
Yeah. So let's see what happens.
At the moment,
that's the wrong statistic. That was for the other guy called Tanadon.
Oh, Panadon is the reigning champion.
Yeah, this is the country's #5. Tufa is the country's #5. These names are so close. I was mixing the statistics. Tufa is the country #5 player.
Wow, so the game looks very drawish, but
Mhm.
white is slightly better because that past pawn is looking very good,
Mhm.
considering there's an attack on the b6 pawn by white.
Mhm.
So maybe it's time we just go around checking our players how
So
they're doing.
he's playing now. His rook b4 has been played by white.
Yeah, rook before has been played, and
Mehul has thrown in rook e6, and then very quickly
I think rook
bishop
e6
b6 has been
looks
played.
like it was a bluff.
Now that pawn is
Would
completely
you have played
guarded.
rook b? I know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the
At
only.
what point? Which rook?
No,
B?
after maybe viewers can see from our screen. If you look at what Mehul has played as black, rook b8 looked better. Why are you giving the b6 pawn? It's a passed pawn also, you know. Rook e6 is just giving away the b6 pawn.
And then now if he picks with the c pawn,
Now after picking,
his pawn
now
is
it's
defended.
not looking as beautiful.
Oh, so you thought he should have played rook b8, right?
Rook b8 was better.
Yeah,
Just stick to your pawns.
yeah. And look at this. The
Because
king
now
is.
all of a sudden there seems to have been a lack of continuation by
Mhm,
black
mhm,
after playing
mhm.
rook d6.
Yeah.
You know?
So f5
Rook
on the
e6,
board. How is h4 for white?
h4
To just stop the king from
exactly from progressing.
coming forward.
And then you can follow with g3.
with g3.
Yeah.
But then after h4, you know, hey, h4, 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 h4. What will happen after h4? King f6. Yeah, after f4 you can just play king f6. Well, that has been played, yeah.
Yeah. It
Okay.
seems Tupfa is doing okay. Yeah. Can we check maybe another player? I can see Methu was also playing.
Let's check Metu.
Methu playing, and they played. Oh, we've just arrived and there's a checkmate. Wow. Methu has just been checkmated.
What a wrong time to turn on.
Yeah. What a time to come and see this. We can just go slightly back and see what has been happening. We can just recap quickly.
Just take.
So they played. This is the Benoni.
This is the Benoni, yeah. The
Yes.
Benoni. This is the Benoni.
Benoni, the modern variations, you know. And
We are in modern times. Always, let me assume it's the modern, right? It is actually.
it should be.
It is. It is. Modern times, new
So,
normal.
Methu playing white. Tanado on FM. I think this is the guy who's saying he's the reigning champion.
Yeah. Beto was playing the top. Yeah, that's the one I was giving statistics. Was been playing for the national team from 2012 in the Olympiad.
And he seems to be very acquainted with this line. Wow, very good play here. I like c4 by Methu. Comes with some tactical play because of that move.
Hitting the queen.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's just a fancy way of exchanging. All right, exchanges.
Oh, you want us to get to the point what happened?
Yeah, we just want to see where the blunder.
No analysis, just seems
Because up to
pretty
here,
fast moves.
black
Yeah.
is okay. Yeah, right. Black
So
seems
far, black
fine.
seems okay. Metu
fine.
seems to be playing okay. Let's see maybe where we think the.
But rook takes the b file. Bishop
Cut it off.
Cut off rooks on the
Okay.
queen tries to exchange. Methu refuses. Going for the attack.
Yeah, that
On-
is
on-
good.
on- on-
So
on-
the
on-
queen had to move, yeah?
So the queen
The
has
queen had
to
to
move.
move.
Rook check. Queen check.
Wait a minute. There was just a minute. Put it back after the rook check. Put it back after the rook check. There was no way. Okay, rook check.
After rook check, you can't go up. It's a forced move. You have to move your king to
Okay.
to h2. It's the only move actually. And then after that check, king has to go up. After that check, king has to go up. Oh, and this nice, or rather this annoying mate is coming on b5, on g5, and it happened. I think it was an ambush. It feels like the blunder came in after refusing to exchange the queens.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think he should have exchanged at this point after that move.
Maybe After that
maybe
move,
queen h2. He should have played queen.
yeah,
h2
to stop any kind
to
of
stop any
because right now it's the rook that is in front of the queen.
yeah. I think
So the queen cannot check. The queen cannot check on f1.
Exactly.
So the queen h2 was stopping that.
Queen h2 was stopping that story.
Yeah.
Apologies to, or rather, sad story for him. Unfortunately, he didn't get that going.
Queen h2 was looking good.
But
it's almost difficult. It's not almost difficult. Sometimes, given, look at the time controls we are having. Sometimes in rapid play, it's very difficult to get all your calculations going right, especially if you're under time pressure.
True.
And you tend not to see. You couldn't see the mate was coming on g5. It's very difficult to see that sometimes you are reduced to seeing one move at a time. Let me fight this situation that is now in front of me.
True.
And we'll see what happens ahead as we put it. Then it happened. So unfortunately, we lost that game, and let's hope the final score will be in our favor. Which game is this we are seeing now, Mehul?
This is Mehul playing the gentleman from Thailand, and this seems to be a game not only just about the end game, but also about time management. Because if you see the clocks, they are not looking so good. 30 seconds each on the clock. As much as there's 5 seconds increment, there's a likelihood to lag, when a good move is played. So this is a very tense moment for Mehul. Tupfa has managed to keep the extra pawn, and I'm sure it's giving Mehul a lot of headache.
And you see, the beauty is about that pawn, put a rook behind a passed pawn.
Exactly.
Because it limits the movement of the other pawn. And also this, because if the king tries to try to attack that pawn,
yes,
then there's problems.
I think now white is winning. I think white is looking very okay. After losing another pawn, I'm not happy for what is about to happen for white. White is doing very well now. 2 pawns is...
No, I think this one white is winning.
Is just too many.
White is winning.
2 pawns.
This is a situation where we call zugzwang.
Yeah, this is a zugzwang. And at some point, moves will finish for white.
Whatever move
for
you
black,
make,
and
it's
now,
your turn to move, but whatever move you make is losing. This tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we kick king f5, then a check? But I think
that is correct. Continuation, so that
then rook.
And now the rook has to go back
now
because you can't allow.
After king f6, it's lights out.
Yeah, because the pawn just starts advancing. This is simple technique.
Yeah. King f6.
Yeah.
No, this is.
But you see some beginners in that position. Take it back a bit. You might be tempted to start pushing the pawn.
Oh yeah.
In the end game, you really have to know when to play the pawn. So white.
So at what point do you want us to analyze?
Just take it back again. I just want to see the point where the king found some moves to go to gain entry into the white territory. That is okay. No, after the pawn had been picked actually.
So after the exchange.
Yeah. I can go to the next move. Rook came back. Okay. After that. Correct. King moving. You might be tempted as a beginner. Put it back. One move back before the rook checks. Yeah. King going to f5. Sometimes you may be tempted to push the pawn with a check.
Yeah. Pushing the pawn.
Yeah, with a check. It's still winning, but I mean, sometimes it's always good to try to. It's not a check must move. You'll bring the queen back, but it's always good to try to put a king whereby in this position you're going to get the key squares. Yeah,
it's actually in chess we call this tactic creating king opposition. You want your king to have some opposition.
Absolutely.
So this scenario compared to what we would have initially. Let me just.
White has won.
Yeah, it's actually this is lost. I knew Mehul after he lost another pawn. It becomes a very hard story to talk about. So Nyarwa is still the one playing at the moment.
So what are the standings so far? Are you able to capture from what is the standing so far? Nyarwa Happy Ushindi. I like the name. Happy Ushindi just means happy winning.
2 games. Methu has lost. I'm not sure about the other games. I just need to confirm.
Can you throw for us Happy Ushindi and then we see if we have
at the moment Ushindi is playing. Nyarwa playing the black pieces, and she seems to have so many of them, and some extra 2 pawns. She seems to be winning here. This should be okay. And fortunately, rook h5 check, and the narrative is changing. Because now the queen falls, and now I don't know what black will do here. This is bad considering the pawn on a4 has fallen. I think Nyaroi has just blundered. She's just blundered right now, and it's really unfortunate for her. Kenya having a very hard time in this game.
This
is very hard to watch. I mean, she was just up a second ago. Look at this position, and just after queen check, she just missed to take rook to f7.
What's the name of her opponent? She's called
Pornuma.
These names are a bit difficult to pronounce.
She just missed after this check. You don't want to. You don't want to play king to g5 because of this nasty pin that takes the queen. You know, this is where she blundered.
But he's also the opponent is also a very weak player. That's Promides Misty Bornoma. It sounds like Ouma. You know, the last name is like our own Steve Ouma. In the 43rd Thailand's University Games, she finished third, and in the qualifiers that they played recently in the Thailand National Chess Championship, she was second.
Nice.
So it's a player who is not.
She knows her.
She knows what she's doing to be second, and Thailand is not a very weak country.
And I think she got these annoying checks that has made Nyaroi crumble her position. Because if you look at the position, Nyaroi was winning at this point in move 77. This has been a
long game.
This is a very long game.
Yeah. And
I think maybe Nyaroi should be trying to let's see the current position. This should be a lot of tension if the game is still ongoing. And Joyce at the moment trying as hard to keep the game ongoing. It should not be easy to checkmate with a queen against a rook. Some players do blunder, and Nyaroi blundered again.
The rook is.
He took the king to the wrong side.
There's this Indian commentator, when you make such a blunder, I remember, I forget his name, he says, first of all, he laughs. And then he says, and the queen does not belong to this board. So in this case, the rook does not belong to this board.
Exactly.
So this is simple, easy checkmate, king and queen. The idea is push the king to the corner and put a nice distance. The fastest way is to put a nice distance between the king.
The best thing is just to play queen g8.
Yeah, queen g8 or that one.
Queen g2,
Then the king will just be moving. Once the king is at the corner, you bring the king to support. Exactly. But this guy opts the other way around. He wants to take the king first, which is still okay. And then mate on the board the next move. Okay, this one is lost.
Mate is coming on g7.
Yeah, mate is coming on g7.
Wow, so such a hard day for us.
Wow.
I think this has been a very hard day.
Is there any other game going on?
I really doubt it.
What are the final scores? Because from my end, I can't see.
The scores are really taking time to update.
All right, so that's it. All the games I think are over. We'll confirm the scores. We are waiting for the website to confirm that.
We need the official score.
We need the official score because sometimes there have been, like yesterday, there was an issue about wrong results being submitted, and then we had an update thinking the scores were this. So we don't want to speculate. And also ourselves, I don't think we have been caught up in the excitement of the moment. We have not been putting the tallies up. But
very true.
Well played, Team Kenya. I think we need to take a break, get ready for the next round, get in touch with the people on the ground to see what's happening.
Yeah, so in this next segment, we'll have some few interviews with some players.
Yes.
And anyone who's been making this event happen.
Yes.
So we'll keep you guys in the loop.
Yes.
At the moment, the standings are showcased on the site. So far, Kenya has lost 6. Actually, all of the games, the standings are out. And it's confirmed that Kenya has 0. This has been a very tough round.
We lost 6-0, yeah?
Yeah, we lost 6-0. Chinese Taipei doing really well, won against Nepal. Hong Kong 5-1. Hong Kong also doing really good. Myanmar beat Tanzania 4.5 against 1.5. So far, Brunei and Maldives still fighting on the ground. Let's see how that.
What are the provisional standings like?
So maybe we can just look a bit on the standings. I don't know if the standings are also out. Let's see how this stands out.
All right. But anyway, not to despair. Not to despair. We our last round of the day, which is coming at 1 o'clock, will provide us a clearer picture of where we are at. I think that one we have to go in guns blazing.
Exactly.
And see what happens there. So we'll be right back with you for the next round, starting at.
Actually,
starting at 1 o'clock.
We've actually done 3 rounds already.
You're finished.
Yeah, we've done 3 rounds already.
What am I thinking about? What's the time now? We have done 3 rounds. They're over.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we are coming in for the last round. Oh yeah, we have played 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Viewers, you can see what happens to us when we get caught up in the moment. Maybe the next round will be Titus versus Brian Kidula, and of course, keep it here as we look out to see if we can get the players to come on set for the interviews. We'll be right back after just getting in touch with the people on the ground at Clarion Hotel. Welcome back to our live broadcast. The games have been they have ended. We lost 6-0 to Thailand, and now we are joined by the Chess Kenya treasurer, Mr. Gilbert Wandera, who is right on the ground at Clarion Hotel. Wandera, how are you?
I'm good, Brian. How are you, man?
Fine, thank you. No bad. We are here with Titus. Titus, maybe you want to hear his voice. Can you say hi to Wandera?
Hi, Banandera, how are you doing?
Good, Titus. How are you?
I'm really fine. I really appreciate your coming to speak to us. Maybe just a small moment. I need to sort out something here just before we get started. Just a moment.
Okay. You can hear me? Sawa? Okay. All right.
Tell me, is it 3-2 start?
Yeah, good.
Okay, viewers, sorry for that technical hitch again. We are experiencing some disconnection in the wiring system. But we're back with the treasurer of Chess Kenya, Gilbert Wandera, is going to tell us a bit about the preparations that the National Federation put in place and what they have done for the team, and also what plans they have as the Olympiad goes on, the challenges they have encountered, and basically just to get to understand from the point of administration. Yesterday we were able to talk to the chairman, the president, Bernard Wanjala, all the way from Bungoma. And right now we are joined by Wandera, who is on the ground at the Clarion Hotel. Wandera, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
Fine, great. Can you tell us what preparation CK had to put in place? You seem to be very happy.
Brian, first of all, we want to thank FIDE for this opportunity to take part in the online Olympiad. I mean, after the coronavirus broke out, the dreams of many players went up in smoke because now, the physical Olympiad, could not be held. So when we got the news that, there will be an online Olympiad, we were very excited. The players were very excited. So we said we try and just give them some good preparations. And one of the big things we did is to get Mr. Peter Long to work with the team. He's a pretty good coach, and he did some good work with the players. I mean, he was able to understand, all the players actually, their weaknesses, their strengths, and where he felt like they needed to change. And you've seen so far that, I'm so happy that at least all the 12 players, I mean, all of them have played. So I think that's it's a big thing. And especially the issue of also giving the juniors a chance to play. For us, that's also a very big thing because these are the future, After, the old guards leave the scene, the young ones will be required to step in. So to be able to expose them at this level right now, it's a very good thing. And we are glad that, we got that opportunity to do that. So that is what we did. And we also ensured that they're able to play in one venue, just to build up that, to build the team morale and to build up the team support because, we had an opportunity for everybody to play, wherever they wanted to. But we said, no, it's good that they play in one area so that they're able to encourage each other. And we have the feeling of teamwork, working in the team. Yes, Brian.
Great, Wandera. And this must have cost the federation some money. And during these times you're going through, there's no much activity. Are we saying the federation is so endowed financially that you can just throw around this sort of arrangement?
Not really. But you see, money is not important at this point. I think for us, we just looked at the fact that, let's give the team the best preparations that they can have. And money will come. When they perform well, everybody, they say that success has many fathers. So if they do well, then we'll get people to come and support. But yeah, like you're saying, things haven't been easy. It's been tough. So we've had to dig deep into our pockets just to ensure that the team has the best preparations and the best venue. I mean, you should come to where they're playing. The ambience is just awesome. So yeah, so we just have to use whatever little we had to ensure that the team has this kind of preparations, because also we want to set, like we've always tried to just make sure that the team has good preparations and they have what they need so that they're able to focus on the game and not focus on what they don't have. Yeah.
Oh, great. That is commendable. And you guys have worked so much together well as a team. And
Yes.
we really appreciate that. It gives us hope and belief in the federation, because I'm sure maybe you're thinking of having some online event for the players. I don't know what plans you have for that as the national federation.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll have an online event probably either later this month or early next month. But definitely, yes, we're going to have one. Because remember, we never had our Kenya Open because of the COVID, and also the national championship. If the situation continues this way, we may not be able to have a physical tournament. So we are thinking about having one. Most definitely, we're going to have one. Yes.
Oh, great. Titus, maybe you have a few questions for him before we.
Most definitely. Bwana Wandera, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes.
And first of all, let me congratulate you guys for job well done. I mean, Team Kenya has had a very flawless kind of event for the players. We've not seen any challenges in terms of internet. The venue has been awesome. Players are very excited. We are seeing very good wins. We're beating titled players. Maybe just one thing I'd like to ask is what has been the challenges you guys have been going through even as you're organizing this event?
I know, yeah, you mentioned about internet. Internet has been a problem actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because the hotel we are in, now because the hotel had closed, and so when they closed, they downgraded their internet package. So it was not up to what we expected, but they've worked on it, and now it's slightly better, but it's not where we want it to be. And but also let me just say also, I think also the I think the whatever the I think also the whatever we've been using, the chess.com avenue has been a bit heavy, and so we've had that, but it's not been bad. But we just wish it could have been better. So we are just working with the hotel just to ensure that we have a flawless tournament, and if and when Kenya qualifies for the next round, because we believe they'll qualify for the next round. That's something that we would like to work on early enough, just to ensure that we do not have, any issue with the internet. But I'm glad that so far no player has lost, on account of bad internet. So I think that is a positive thing. The other challenge I would really say is I also feel like probably if we had more money, we could maybe have put the players in this hotel so that they don't have to, so that they are able to come here and just be here, be together, and then don't have to commute from home and come here, because anything can happen on the road. Maybe they get late and miss a game. So far that hasn't happened. So I think that is the other thing that we would love to do for the team, just to give them the best preparations. Yeah. Yes.
Excel as
Yes.
usual. Thank you very much for joining us. You have a good
Thank you.
afternoon. even as you look forward to you inviting us to come and partake of the sumptuous meals at that hotel that you are so much glorifying. Thank you very much, Wandera.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Brad.
Cheers. Viewers, I think today we have come to the end of our broadcast, and we really want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for the words of encouragement that have been coming in on our YouTube feed. Titus, maybe I want you to close off this show today, and let's look forward to seeing them again tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks a lot to everyone who's been watching us live from YouTube or any other platform you're watching the event from. We really appreciate your watching us. And for all those who have not subscribed yet, kindly do so. Thanks a lot, Chess Kenya, for giving us this opportunity. Thanks a lot to FIDE. Thank you very much to Terian Chess Academy, Prox Chess House, for giving us this opportunity to participate here. Anyone who has made this event possible in one way or another, we really appreciate. And definitely to you viewers for being there, holding on to our conversation, listening to our variations of moves. They may not be perfect, but we're trying our best.
Yep.
Definitely, you know that. And if you're learning chess and you want to progress forward, you can always contact us. You can go into Terian Chess Academy website, look for their contacts, call them. If you need any coaching, any directives, or maybe where you can get chess equipment, how can you start playing chess professionally? Maybe you just be playing at home. Look for us. You can even leave a comment on the YouTube comments, and we really appreciate. We'll get back to you on that. Without wasting much time, I think Kidula, we are done with today.
Yeah, absolutely, we are done today. Thank you so much I've enjoyed being with you.
See you tomorrow. We'll be doing more of this tomorrow as we see round 3 of Kenya.
Bye.